I get this out of the way real quick.
Oh, God. Your back cracking. You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by...
James,
the back cracker. I'm going to put that in the video, James.
That's not going to get picked up.
Okay, yes, it will. Welcome, everybody, to our YouTube channel. Season 8, Episode 3. Episode 7. What's the title? 70.
70.
They're slow to name these for some reason. But wow, we just watched it.
I just got a text from my mom saying it was awesome! Exclamation mark.
James's mom is weighing in, everybody. That's funny. Yeah, that's right. And thank God my mom can't text. My God, It's the best thing about my life. So here we go. We're going to do a shot-by-shot breakdown. Let's think of this as a podcast with pictures. James and I are the world's foremost Game of Thrones experts. We curate the George R.R. Martin Museum and Mortuary. Agreed?
Okay.
No, obviously not. Our regular viewers know that this is mostly just a man mildly abusing his roommate who's too polite to tell him to shut the fuck up. That's essentially what this whole channel is. But we're not experts. We're fans. We love it. We have no bad intentions, but sometimes we get details wrong. I always feel like a caveat that. But yeah, so you want the real stuff, go to Smithsonian.org. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's where they do the real podcasting. All right?
So
this is fuckboy town over here.
I've got a problem, though, because I saw Avengers Endgame and then immediately got home and 45 minutes later watched this, so I might make some Hulk references thinking that I'm talking about the wrong thing, okay. But I'll try to temper that.
That explains why you showed up wearing just your tattered shorts.
Yeah. It happens.
It does.
Yeah.
James, you've had a big media day. We've a couple of huge events here for
and I have to say that, I mean, I'm not going to obviously say anything about... obviously not going to do that.
Yeah, I definitely...
But the Avengers Endgame was an incredibly emotional movie to the part where it was hitting you in the feels every 5 seconds. This episode, strangely enough, didn't do that to me except for maybe almost once.
Oh, okay. So, from a feels perspective, you're saying Endgame took the beat episode 3 of this TV show.
And I would have predicted it to be exactly the opposite because I care so much more about Game of Thrones than I do the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Well, so John
really
couldn't get his magic glove to work.
Yeah, it's very odd.
I have the wrong buttons.
I think my big thing was that there's so many things that I was banking on, hoping to see, very satisfying moments that I was expecting to happen that just didn't happen or did happen but went down in ways that were unexpected and kind of not the way I wanted to see it happen.
Okay. All right. So you're presenting the conflict between your expectations and what you saw, but are you saying you were bored? I don't think you were bored. That you didn't enjoy it? Or
no, I did.
Things didn't happen the same way you
have an issue with action scenes where it's like quick cut, where it's like it's almost jarring to watch to the point where it's just you can't really tell what's going on in the chaos of the battle. And I found myself in that conundrum at multiple times during the episode, not really knowing, did I just see an important character die? Did that just, not effectively knowing whether or not I missed something.
There were a lot of cuts, a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking because it did it at night, that made it even harder to tell exactly who's getting stabbed here or there, or what kind of action's going on. We do need blackout curtains for the living room, though, by the way. We got enough with this sunlight stuff, even the fading evening light. No good. Ruins all the experiences. So yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Okay, James, you good? Everything good? Good weekend? I'm exhausted. I've done construction straight for like 3.5 days. I'm exhausted.
I've been on a strict regimen of sleep and wasting time, so I am pooped.
Well, wasting time is exhausting too. Yeah. I've done my share of that. All right, so that's it. Oh, I got some jury duty updates for everybody that got interested in that for some reason. It seemed to tickle a couple of notions in people, which I appreciate. We're starting a convo. Yeah. I'm going to talk everybody out of being a decent citizen. No, that's not my intention at all. It was a very interesting experience. I had some stuff to say.
Everyone should serve on a jury at least once.
Yeah, let's talk about it at the end. I
already did my one. That's why
I took out 4 bailiffs before they finally took me down. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. Opening shot. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the thing. I don't remember seeing this one. I don't think it was new, but it says there's a dragon squirt on a chain.
Looks new to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't recall seeing it, but I'm also spaced out half the time. We like to track the progress of the white or of the blue disc, or what do you call those?
Ice,
I guess. Well, they're like squares, tiles.
Yes,
that's the word I'm looking for.
Encroaching winter.
Yeah. The tiles of northern coming down to destroy them. So this is kind of cool. Let me back up. It had overwhelmed the last hearth where the Tormund found the Umber boy. And more like Bummer Boy, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's kind of humor you could expect. But here it's traveling towards Winterfell. Pretty cool.
And always expect a mouse cursor on the screen.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you gotta tell me that. I just
did.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But anytime, because I hate it too. I find it very distracting. It tickles my... Why am I saying tickles? That's not one of my words.
It tickles my fancy.
It tickles my OCD. I wanted to say OCD. All right, so, Winterfell. What's this curve up here? That's that's like part of the world is curved.
Yeah, it's Canada.
Yeah, kind of like the end of Inception. Mm-hmm. Not Inception. Yeah, a little bit like Inception. Mm-hmm. But I went to say Interstellar, where they're living in the giant space thing with the farms.
Yes.
So, all right, Alfie Allen, Isaac Hempstead, right? They added these spikes here around Winterfell during the sequence. This is pretty cool.
To say that was there before, simply because prior to this episode, I was looking on Game of Thrones Reddit, and someone had a screenshot of that very thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they could have been there before. It seemed like they, I don't know what the hell, all right.
Unless there was some advanced, screening that I wasn't aware of that people...
Yeah, probably not. So the first shot was Sam's hands, and he's just sort of doing his thing, watching stuff. Sam, you probably have some criticisms of his behavior this episode, right? We'll get to it. You don't have to get into it all right now.
Sam was disappointing, to say the least. Many characters were disappointing in this episode. Namely, I won't say who it is, but it rhymes with Bran.
Bran?
Bran does not rhyme with Bran.
Okay. Thank you. What does rhyme mean? No, all right. So yeah, Sam. Then he. There's not a lot of dialogue to get through. So Sam's up on the rampart, my favorite word, mm-hmm. and he's checking stuff out, looking around, seeing stuff, and he runs down to the courtyard. Yeah, so a lot of commotion though. There's just all sorts of prep. There at one point, I think we see young. What's her name? Lady, the tough girl, the super cool badass.
Oh,
the bear,
Lady Tiny Bear.
Lady Tiny Bear, Lady Ferocious Bear. There she is. He's telling them, "Come on, help the lads." I like the word. I wish Americans use the word lad. Yeah. Sounds like lid. It rhymes with lid.
Yeah. I always call her Lady Mormont, but I know that's not her. She has a first name.
What it's Leanne. It's Lisa.
I think it is like Leanna or Leanna or I just said the same thing twice.
So you guys,
whatever.
Smithsonian if you want the real details.
Yep.
There, okay. Then we sort of cut to this guy, whatever his name is, Tyrion.
Tyrion Lannister.
He's a Lannister.
Yeah.
But the camera just kind of travels through the different thing and picks up different actors.
Right.
It's like the entire cast is all kind of coagulated, if that right around the same area here, except for some of the King's Landing.
So the first two episodes, we had nothing but build up to the moment where the White Walkers first appear outside the gates. This is the commencement of the battle. They're all essentially getting into formation for the ensuing battle to come.
Yeah. So Theon shows up here. They're actually, I think this is Bran right here. They're traveling and they're heading to the Weirwood, the Godswood, with Legolas's bastard. This guy right there. Look at him. Oh. Either that or PewDiePie's been getting around. Oh, I pissed him off. All right, so they're cool stuff. I mean, just the Winterfell preparations. They really did a good job stretching out the opening a bit, not in a indulgent way. I thought there's tension building, like pulling back on the rubber band and getting ready to snap your brother while he's sleeping. Want to hear the horrible story? This girl, it is really bad. She was disabled, amputated above her knees, and the way she lost her legs was her brother, at like a 5-year-old, just put rubber bands around her legs while she was sleeping, not realizing what he was doing. And it cut off all the circulation, and she lost both her legs.
You knew someone?
No, I just heard it on a radio show once.
Okay, because when I hear amputated above the knees, I think that there's just legs remaining.
Wait. Oh,
they amputated the rest and just kept everything below the knees.
James, you and your twisted sense of humor, all right? Not appropriate. Above the knees. That's really funny. God damn it. But isn't that sad? Yeah, all right.
It's incredibly sad, and if I were that kid, I would feel horrific.
I brought that up on a date once. What's a second date? So we go up. There's a guy, but more guys with beards and coats, and it's dark though too. So we had a little tough time seeing everything.
Well, the cool thing about this is that a lot of these scenes in the opening were kind of in the trailer for the episode, but people were able to take those trailer shots, lighten them up, and show the dragons in the sky.
Oh yeah.
And I think one of the big theories you proposed this one to me actually was that the Night King was not going to be present in this battle. That he was actually flying around to take King's Landing to form his army to come up from the south and to basically squash them that way.
There was some scuttlebutt about that at work, and someone saying, not that they were fighting for this idea, but they're sharing some of the theories. Yeah, that the entire center of the continent would then have been converted into a fresh army for the Night King, and they would have approached from the south.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like that's what happened, based on what we just watched. So, yes, the dragons do come flying in. I was kind of surprised to see them so early, because we didn't see them at all last episode, so I was sort of thinking they were setting up kind of a surprise appearance by the dragons.
Would want to know where the Night King was before I used my dragons, considering the fact that he was able to take one down with a single throw of an ice spear prior.
Right.
That's a serious risk.
Yeah. You don't just, like, present them to the bad guys that can take them down with a single
Because
throw.
with one, they've already got an advantage. If they get two, you're dead.
Yeah. Yep. The Unsullied go walking by. Man, these poor dudes. What a horrible life. Get their nuts chopped off, and then they just have to be marching and following orders.
They can't freeze them off then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, but they do have sort of their own regulatory temperatures thing, you know? You ever take a shower? Oh, man.
No. I hate water.
Yeah.
I just form a crust of dirt on my skin. It serves as armor.
Just a good sand scrub.
Yep.
You just scratch your back against a cactus every once in a while. like an aardvark. But anyway, the Night's Watch guy, or the Unsullied dudes. But we get a lot of these cool shots of the whole battlefield and these big rocks that they're going to throw. Excellent craftsmanship. Good masonry work, huh? Look at that stuff. They're nice circles.
Now, here's one thing that drives people absolutely insane. What do you call those wooden structures that fling the
trebuchets?
Rocks? Yes. If you call them catapults, people will lose their minds because they're two entirely different things.
Right. Trebuchets are cooler.
Way cooler.
Yeah. My dad built a trebuchet out of stuff it could throw a tennis ball about 10 feet.
You ever watch, and this is a big sport in Virginia where
I'm not kidding. He sent me a picture of it.
I believe it because in Virginia and other states, and I presume these are southern states, but they have a very scientific sport that they do every around October or so.
I know what it's called.
Pumpkin
Chunkin.
And not only do they build these trebuchets over and over and over to maximize, what they're chucking, but they're also growing the ideal pumpkin. They're growing it and cultivating it and splicing genes and crossbreeding to get the pumpkin with the perfect weight, the perfect shape, the perfect shell density for aerodynamics. It's fascinating.
That is cool. Yeah, a lot of engineering goes into that stuff.
You think it's a drunken hillbilly thing, but there's a lot of science that goes into it.
Drunken hillbilly thing is like shooting stop signs.
Yes.
That's called chunkin' stop sign.
Did you ever see that episode of the very famous episode of Top Gear where they went to Alabama? And this is back when it was still Top Gear, not the Grand Tour.
Okay.
And they were terrified because they were driving through Alabama in the South with cars painted with things like Hillary Clinton for president and things that would drive Southerners insane.
And then did they dress up in dresses?
No, they didn't do that. Okay. But the episode opened with the Welcome to Alabama sign, I believe, and there were bullet holes in it. And the British gentlemen looked at each other and said, "Oh my God, they've shot their own sign." It's like, how are we safe if they've shot their own sign?
The world does look peculiar to British people, but that's true of from the angles of all British people. Everything's weird to them, as if they're different. All right, so we get a nice little montage of the fellas here, and just all of these guys. And Brienne, Sir
Brienne, recently as the last episode, and Gendry.
And Podrick. That's Podrick.
Oh, yes, Gendry. Well,
Gendry shows up.
Gendry's behind him. You can't see him, though.
He is?
I screwed up.
Oh, Jaime. Okay. All right. You can just admit. Yeah. All right. Handsome Jaime, Brienne, they're all there. They're getting ready. All the actors get to stand in the front because that's closest to the camera. That's how battles work. Grey Worm is looking cool and tough. They did a lot of Grey Worm pushes and pulls on him. I noticed they used that as a proxy for camera proximity or for audience proximity via the camera. Barrack. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, my favorite. And that's the Hound. He actually muscles his way to the front.
He does.
He wants to get in on the action, which is nice. Or he's got to take a wee. That's Sir Dolorous Ed. I'm not sure what Dolorous means. We should look it up.
It means he's poor. He doesn't have a dollar.
Dollarless Ed. Oh, for fuck's sake, you took your time. That's Dollar's Ed to Sam. Everybody gives Sam shit. I think he's done enough.
I was hoping Sam would kind of resign himself to the Crypts, considering he gave the sword Hearthsbane. Is it Hearthsbane or Hearthsheart?
Hearthsbane, I think.
Hearthsbane.
Yeah.
His ancestral family sword to Jorah Mormont because it was too large for him.
Yeah.
So I assume that he's, actually the first scene when you see his hands, he's kind of passing along dragon glass weaponry.
Right. That's right.
And I did check also that in season 2, there is a line in season 2 where they're talking about dragon glass, and someone says the maesters call it obsidian.
Really?
Yes.
Yes!
But then I checked, I went on YouTube, and I looked up videos of people actually trying to forge weapons out of obsidian. Absolutely impossible.
Right.
they took him 6 tries to actually get something forged in a solid single frame or single piece of obsidian. And the second they picked it up,
keep talking. I have a piece in my closet.
It is way, way, way too fragile to serve as any sort of weaponry. So if you look back to the past episode, when Gendry is actually taking the weapon and he slams it into a log and says, "Is that strong enough for you?" to Arya, that would never happen.
On the obsidian. Look, hold it. It's shiny.
It's shiny, but yes.
Now break it again, smash it.
I could, if I really wanted to break this thing, I feel like I could.
It's big, so I'll take a picture and put it up. It's a nice 6-incher. You could do some damage with this thing if you could chip it. But yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Right, and that's why I thought from the whole time, and I still kind of cling to this theory, is that I believe the Maesters were wrong. I believe dragonglass and obsidian are 2 different things. They think it's the same thing, but you cannot forge obsidian. I'm going to stick with that. Dragonglass has to be something more special.
Because they can forge it.
Because Gendry was able to easily forge it in mass.
But why can't they just... Because it's a magic world and it's fiction. So in that world, obsidian...
To use a word like obsidian, something that exists in our world...
Yeah.
The very fact that you can't manipulate it into weaponry easily at all, or even practically, tells me that the Maesters just have to be wrong.
So maybe they have a special fire additive. You know how you can put like little crystals and it turns green for a little while?
Well, they have wildfire.
Yeah, exactly. So. Wildfire. So maybe there's something to the forgery. Not forgery.
Forgery, exactly. No. They're forging facts.
But check it out, man. Obsidian. Yeah. I don't know where I got that. All right, so it's a good one.
Put a bunch of Coke bottles in the microwave.
Yeah, okay. So enough of that. Where are we at now? Oh, yeah, we got a good shot of Ghost. Happy to see the old dog.
His name is Jorah Mormont.
Jorah Mormont, the French guy. Yep. We got all kinds of good stuff.
My favorite character.
Yeah, you really like this dude.
He's honorable. He's a good dude.
So you relate to him?
No.
You're honorable. You're the most honorable man I've ever met.
I would run away from a fight. I don't want to fight.
Standing and getting your ass kicked isn't honor.
I get grayscale. I just wouldn't go to the doctor. I'll be like, oh, it'll go away.
Yeah,
put some what was that, Neosporin on it?
Yeah, Neosporin would do good. You'd hit it with a hammer like you did for the abscess on your back.
That was pretty awesome.
For our new listeners, James once smashed an abscess on his back because American healthcare system.
I started turning like Thanos purple, like my entire shoulder and chest.
Then your chin became a scrotum.
It's pretty cool.
So we got some cool dragons growling. That's fun. Who doesn't like that? Dany and Jon are overlooking the scene from atop a ledge somewhere. This is very fun. What if they just started going at it? They just like turned down all their power.
I am very disenchanted by Daenerys now.
Okay.
I do not see her as a ruler. I see her as a power-hungry tyrant. I do not want her to succeed.
Well, she's really...
She is very unlikable at this point.
Not very patriotic of you. You're supposed to want her to succeed. She's the president.
Nope.
She's declared it. Yeah, no, she is.
I still feel by the time this is all over, there will be no one on the Iron Throne. The Iron Throne will be dismantled, and the individual 7 kingdoms will govern themselves.
Into 7 iron stools.
Yes.
Which are even more uncomfortable to sit on than the throne. Ow, my hemorrhoid. Oh, yeah, guys, preparationh.com/suckprofessor/GeoCities, promo code suckprofessor for 10% off your next order. All right. There you go. What do we got there? Danny's looking at some stuff. Are
you sure that's not Sansa?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's brown hair.
Oh, is it? Yeah, sorry. So I changed the color settings in Premiere after we edit. For some reason, it's kind of dark on my monitor while we're doing screen recording here. So that's why I'm explaining to the listeners why sometimes we can't tell.
No, that's Daenerys right there.
That's Daenerys right here. She's turned into a crusty old queen. The Onion Queen. So everybody cries when they're around her. Out of the darkness, we think like something's going on. A lot of tension in this whole scene. There's a lot of like slow shots of just snow and then above the snow, nothing. So you can't tell. It's like looking in. I went snorkeling at night once, and you look into the darkness with your flashlight, and you just don't see shit. No, yeah. And then we saw one like shimmery giant fish, and I was like, I'd rather go play video games. Take me home. Anyway, Melisandre came out of the... She was
Melisandre.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So despite the fact that there was a moment between her and Arya in a prior season where he said, we will meet again, something to that effect, I still honestly didn't expect to see her again.
Right.
She said she was going off to Volantis to die.
Yeah. She was exiled by Jon from Castle Black.
Yes, and Davos was going to strike her down if he ever saw her again for what she did to Shireen.
Yep, Davos asked for permission to kill her for that. Yeah, it's very... Davos's affection for the kids is really nice. It's not like creepy gym coach affection. It's just like he's a good dude and he cares.
If this was like a modern day times, it'd be Davos's ice cream truck.
No, onion truck.
Onion ice cream truck.
You're a pretty little one, aren't you? Would you like an onion? But he's harmless. He's just a crazy old
onions.
kook. Here's a frozen onion. Where I come from, this was a treat on my wedding night. Okay, do you speak... Okay, so she's like, do you speak Dothraki is who she's talking to.
And this was entirely predictable. As soon as she said, tell them to lift their swords, you know it's going to be like a Beric Dondarn moment where their weapons erupt into flame.
Well, I thought when I heard this that she was going to put her finger under there and then tell them to turn their head and cough. Wink? Wink?
Yeah.
I'm referring to having a doctor test your balls for something. I don't know what that's for. All right, so he does it. First, he's skeptical, though. He's like, what? You just come out of nowhere and give me, But then he's like, okay.
Right, but all he knows how to say is, where's the library? In Dothraki.
Oh, wait, because he had to go to the Citadel? Wait, what does that mean? Is that a reference?
If you don't know how to speak a lot of a language, typically the first thing they teach you is, Donde es la bibliothèque?
Okay, all right. Yeah, you gave me way too much credit in figuring out that joke. Où se trouve la librairie?
Où se trouve? That's not French.
Yes, it is.
Où se?
O-U space S-E-T-R-O.
Où-e, yeah.
Yeah, it's not où though. It's où se trouve.
No,
it means where is it located?
I took 6 years of French.
I took 6 years. No, you didn't.
I did.
You did 6?
Yes.
I did 5.5. Où se trouve? Où se trouve la Suisse? Where is Switzerland? It's where is Switzerland located. All right, let's move on. Look at you. I got good grades,
okay.
James. I had no friends and no sex, okay?
I'm used to people pronouncing the French in a very southern, heavy accent, so I don't recognize it.
Où se trouve la Suisse?
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm sorry, the South. I didn't mean to insult you guys.
They're coming for you
Didn't
now.
mean to do it. Take down your Confederate flags.
Boys are getting in the back of the pickup truck, and they're coming for you.
Get him! Get that British boy! Get that!
You're not British.
I know that they think I am. See, it's another.
Oh, you threw him off. You threw the scent off. Yeah.
Yeah. I wear toast flavored deodorant. What are they? Britain toast? I don't know.
So what we miss is all the weapons erupt into flames.
All these cool curves turn into flames. It's pretty fun. We get a nice, great shot of this. Shot was really cool.
Yeah.
It's the way it sort of travels.
And I was mostly happy because it wasn't so dark anymore. We could actually see what was happening.
I agree. These black screenshots are freaking brutal because there's just no data in this in the JPEGs, and then you lose it when you do the preview.
I was hoping they would cut to like a hot pie or something in the kitchen, like spraying some butter across, and then his butter knife explodes into flame and ruins his toast.
But he's got such a glowing face, that hot pie. Oh yeah, but then he can toast. Oh, a flaming butter knife to toast butter.
But if it's already toasted, you don't want that. It just melts the butter right off.
Toast the bread, I guess. You start with bread. It becomes toast.
It would be an unexpected and unpleasant thing.
To what?
Imagine you're trying to get a knife or something, you open your drawer and they're all on fire.
Yeah, I agree. That would be upsetting. Unless you... Okay. He's like, what the hell is this? This is not cool, man. What the fuck? But yeah, good guy. I'd sell this shit on eBay, honestly. Get rid of that crap. Who needs possessions?
Right, so obviously their weapons don't get erupted into flames because there are spears which have wooden halves to them. It would be pretty detrimental to them.
Yeah, but I was thinking though, as we were kind of commenting, they have to hold their swords now. They can't like put the sword back into the horse hook. You know what I mean? Like they have to keep it up in the air because now it's on fire. Like when you can't put you're holding a sprinkler, you pretty much have to wait until the sprinkler goes away. It becomes your god. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Wooden spears, that wouldn't work. But the swords would get hot. Wouldn't the handles get warm?
I would imagine they would, but I'm going to say that this is magic fire.
Oh, okay. Earlier you were all about the physics of obsidian, and now...
Well, that's why I say obsidian should not be... I mean, I feel like they made a mistake by saying that. Either that, or the maesters were wrong.
Yeah, or it's just a fucking word. Who gives a shit?
It's a known thing.
Too much swearing. Oh, I like that phrase. It's a known thing.
Yes.
That should be our new words.
It is new.
I forget our old words. What are...
Pelican.
Wherever we're from forgets.
Yes.
All right. I think that's funny. I don't think anybody else...
Wherever we're from forgets?
Yeah.
Because it's wherever we're from is reminiscent of forgetting?
Yeah, we don't remember where we're from.
No.
Therefore we forget. See? I forget.
All
right. Yeah, if it requires explaining, it's not funny.
Yes.
Also, if I say it, it's probably not funny.
So Sir Davos is looking and he sees Melisandre, and by Melisandre, I mean Melisandre.
That's right there.
I almost got that wrong.
You got it right.
And she's coming through the gates. He actually says, open the gates. But
yeah.
he has a look on his face as if to say, yeah, I'm going to go kill her.
Oh, you think so?
I absolutely
I'm thinking... I think he's more just like, let me check around and make sure, but not immediately go for the kill. Because that's what he does. because of the moment here. Like, it'd be pretty bad if all of a sudden Davos just starts murdering a woman, even if he has a decent reason to. But,
what if he tries to like gouge her eyes out, but he can't because he has nubs or fingers?
Yeah, that's true. He could at least tickle her, maybe. So anyway, they have a little conversation about being dead and stuff.
She says, like, Sir Davos, there is no need to execute me on the spot. I'll be dead before the dawn.
Right. Like, yeah. She's got one final mission. She's one day away from retirement, like Danny Glover.
Yeah. Danny Glover.
You know what movie I'm talking about?
Lethal Weapon.
Yes, thank you. Good points. All right. All right, so Arya's checking everything out. Music is starting to kick in, too, a little bit, I think.
Arya Speedwagon.
Arya Speedwagon. Oh yeah, that's right. She's seeing Melisandre.
Right, because Melisandre said to her originally, "We will meet again."
Yeah,
and this is the pivotal moment where they recognize the presence of one another.
Yeah, she went off to not blinking school. Has she ever blinked? I can't say.
But the very fact that there's a prophecy that the Red Woman had regarding Arya is a pretty important thing to keep in mind.
Right. Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
I honestly totally forgot that there was that Arya conversation. No recollection whatsoever because my brain is Swiss cheese. All right, so the Flame guys.
These are the Dothraki horsemen.
Yeah, they're probably happy this. These guys are from like warm areas. Now they get like a warm thing for them. They take off. They're like, this is their first attack. They're ready to make their move. Now that their flames are on, or their swords are on fire, we get some pretty cool shots. This is pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
I think those were all real. They just had all these extras.
I like to believe they were. I mean, HBO has the budget.
They do. What's cheaper, though? Getting all the real dudes and the horses or just doing this digitally?
I would say Arby's, they have the meats. HBO has the monies.
Couldn't have said it better myself. These shots were great. We did lose quality. The stream, I think, was pretty much in and out mostly.
It's almost like other people were watching us at the same time. I can't quite think of why.
The servers are probably pretty busy.
Odd.
But I really like these big wide shots. So I thought these were really great. They just had a really epic quality to
and if
them.
it wasn't for the flaming swords, we'd be seeing nothing.
Right, we wouldn't see. Yeah, exactly. So that's actually a good move that they did that. She could have given them like green laser pointers or something like a basketball game. They don't give laser pointers to a crowd. That'd be a bad idea. Yeah, I'd get fired if I worked for like promotions for the NBA. We should give everybody darts. Oh, and 14 dead. Okay, so they're loading up the trebuchets, getting ready to launch them and stuff. That's fun. They start launching them.
I'm guessing they have to like measure the distance, such as not to hit their own Dothraki charging horsemen before they reach their point of impact.
That would seem to be the case, and they can't really see where they're aiming. I imagine there's like, one guy per one. It's like more rocks. We gotta go further.
It reminds me of that scene of the Battle of Falkirk, I believe it was, from the movie Braveheart.
Yeah.
Where the king says, he goes, "Ready the archers," and the guy says, "But it will hit our own men." And he goes, "Yes, but we'll hit theirs as well."
Yeah, it's
an a-hole.
It's pretty bad. That's a bad. Yeah, it's brutal. That guy's a real piece of shit in that movie.
Yeah,
good casting.
Edward the Longshanks, I think was his name.
Yeah, and he's disappointed by his son.
Yes, who is a dandy, as they might say back in the day.
You are from the South.
Yes. Yankee Doodle Dandy.
A Yankee Doodle Dandy. Okay. Okay. All right. So Ghost is getting in on it. I like a dog that knows what's up. Like how dogs are like, we're late, we better hurry. How they can like pick up on the mood. That's always fun.
Actually, someone has one of the White Walkers has a sliver of bacon. That's waiting around.
Just outside there. Yeah. There's just some guy in like a khaki vest on the other side of the frame, just going, "Come on, boy. Come on, look angry."
It's an Irwin.
Oh man, that guy.
I love the Irwins.
I love the. I'm devastated that guy died. But I'm not, and I don't mean this to make fun of it. But like he died how he was supposed. Like he died doing something awesome by an awesome animal in a really sad, tragic way. But he got stabbed in the heart or the chest by a stingray or by a giant ray. Now, if he had just like slipped in the shower, it would have been like, well, come on. But no, obviously I don't want him to be dead.
It was devastating, but the very fact you see his children doing what they're doing now, this kind of energy that they have, you can see him in them.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
He was sort of reckless and crazy, but he was very charming. Yeah,
one of the few celebrity deaths that actually affected me.
Yeah, I cried when Cher died.
She's alive.
Right. What? So, all right, there they go. Rawr, look at us. We have mustaches and stuff, and we're adapting to the cold. So yeah, they're all charging. It's big and crazy, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit!"
Now I missed this.
I missed the shot that we didn't get.
They hit a wall or something. It's something that they don't see coming. They can't charge into it, and it's basically death for them.
Yeah,
I I hate that I missed it.
Well, you know how there's like flares, those red flares that illuminate the forest for like 40 seconds? Like, why don't they have like a splashy flame things, and they throw them ahead of them so they can see in front of them? Night fighting. Come on, think it through.
Yeah, I think Bass Pro was out of them.
Yeah, well, they kind of have these, I guess. They are landing, but they're like hitting, so these rocks are landing and they blow up, I guess.
But basically, there was a tactical advantage that the White Walkers and the Whites had against them.
Yeah.
That basically made them completely ineffective against their initial charge.
Yeah, so this was really kind of like, oh, shit. So they just sort of stop. They all kind of just hit this thing, and it becomes pretty clear right away to the leaders watching from the hills that, like, stop, oh, crap, what the hell's going on? And then the lights go out slowly.
Yes, that is the most telling sign right there.
That was great.
Not only realizing that your entire Dothraki horde is gone, but now they are added to the ranks of your enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a beautiful way of doing it.
That was well done.
That is terrifying.
Sort of, I don't know why I was surprised by that. And not that it was, but like, that was so predictable when as soon as they started walking off or running off.
Yeah, as soon as Melisandre gave them the buff, I was like, okay, this is a little bit too good to be true.
Buff is a video game term for those who are cool, who are listening. That means a temporary bonus of stats.
Yes.
Right?
Typically with a timer that counts down to the end of the buff, in which case you have to refresh the buff and rebuff.
You got to rebuff. What's when you get a weakening? A nerf?
That's a debuff.
Oh, Jesus. You could be more creative than that.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. All right. So Tormund, fresh from combing his hair or he's just got back from the groomers. He is looking on, going, oh no.
They're just waiting to see what comes charging back out of the darkness.
Yeah. Hoofbeats pounding. Grey Worm is checking
That's
it out.
just Gilly walking around.
You're brutal. You're brutal, James.
Gilly.
That is just so weird. I hate Jorah Mormont.
How dare you? He is the best.
Like
He's a national treasure.
National treasure, my ass. Creepy old December May motherfucker. All right, so this is kind of cool though. I did like that some of the horses made it back and some of the men did. That's realistic. Like they're not all gonna get absorbed, but some of them just come. Like when the Dothraki turn and flee, you know things are not going well.
They're typically probably closer to the fearless side, and when they run, you know something's bad.
Exactly.
Which is what you're saying.
This is bad times. So yeah, and the horses come running. Although it would have been funny if like one of the horses like ran into some of the Unsullied and just like knocked over like 10 of them. They have to kill it. All right, so what's this guy? I can't tell. Who is that? I don't know, something. Oh, that's, I don't know. It's dark on our screen here.
Yeah. I know Jorah retreats with him because Jorah was part of the the charge.
There
he comes back, so he's not gone.
He's already having a bad day. He's going, ow, my osteoporosis. And he's there. Jon says something about...
Jon says, the Night King is coming. And she's like, the dead are already here.
Your impressions are perfect.
I know. I actually captured the audio and just replayed it for you right there.
This guy here wearing a condom head, he's going, oh man, I should have gone to the Citadel. I should have stayed in videographer school. So there they go. And Gendry, our favorite fella, fresh off banging Arya, so a little glow, a little pep in his step. Podrick, drunk, hungover, cool. I like his attitude. He has a nice demeanor to him, I think. And
he's a bard.
Is that what you'd say? Squire? Bard?
Oh,
because he sings.
Yes, he sings.
Are bards just singers, or do they also have a lute?
They could have both. They could have a lute and a sword.
Perhaps a recorder?
Maybe.
So now we know action's getting serious because Gendry puts on his face.
That's a Grey Worm.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Gendry.
Well, you can't spell Gendry without Grey.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be Grey and ND.
Sure.
But he puts on the helmet, which means shit's about to go down because we're not going to show.
But he puts it on backward, which is really embarrassing.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Yeah, it gets spun around and then he just like staggers into a rock. Look at that though. It's got a kind of a spade. This is.
But it's like really
like a horseshoe crab.
Yeah, there's a lot of intense like heavy breathing here. Something that basically implies that Grey Worm perhaps will be meeting his fate because he's terrified.
It did seem that way. Yeah, he was. Well, would you say he was terrified or just sort of things were ramping up? The relationship or the decision... Sorry, go ahead.
When the thing about Grey Worm is that he, as an Unsullied, he was fearless.
Yeah.
And he was fearless because he had nothing to lose, because he'd already lost the most important thing to him.
Mm-hmm. Little Grey Worm.
Dr. Wing, yeah. But now he's got Melisandre. He has a lot to lose.
Yes.
So the fear is in him.
And I have a wiener. I'm sorry, a Dr. Wing. And it's hard to find a woman... when you have one. Not that women, it's the only thing they care about, but most women probably want a man with one. He doesn't even have one. But he gave her some of his mouth, Dr. Wing, that one night. And then they became a couple. And they won the prom. All right. So Grey Worm is telling his fellas to get ready. And we just see finally the opening, the first shots we actually see. They just come out of the darkness.
Right. So the bad part here is your trebuchets are supposed to keep things at bay. You do not want ground units to get that close to your trebuchet.
Right.
So this is a bad sign.
Yeah.
They're already that close. And we don't know how many of these are Dothraki or actually whites.
Right.
We find out later on that they're all whites because the Dothraki have not been,
Raised
reborn
up.
yet.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So the Unsullied Grunt. Yeah. Oh, man. And so it just, the kind of standard, raw, cling, clang.
Yes. Super quick cuts.
Crunch.
Very hard to tell what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of dark shots.
It looks very bad for Winterfell at this point, though.
It's not looking good. Although they were expecting this. At least I was almost expecting there to be some sort of massive misdirection and all of a sudden the whites are coming from the other side or something. But they did face them on the open field. Can't tell what that is.
Well, if you go back, there was a face.
Right here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Big old dead face.
Okay. Good analysis. Yeah. So we're just going to burn through a lot of this because it's honestly can't even see it on the screen. What the fuck? I got to fix my monitor. What the hell, man? No wonder my color correction is always terrible. So, yeah, there's a bunch of dudes. There's more gray stuff, dark stuff. We got the Unsullied squaring off. I think this looks like Tormund, I want to say, from behind. Yep, there he is. Nice hair. The Hound back there. Things are starting to go, though. This is all popping off. Like when the fireworks go off before your grandma gets it out of the car.
There's not a lot to say on any given screenshot when there's this much action going on,
Right.
so we're going to kind of go through it a lot quickly.
Yeah, we're just kind of not rushing, but, there's just take it in, everybody. Just look at the great action, great moments here. A lot of people falling, a lot of whites running, a lot of baldness. You lose your hair slowly because it's one of the first things to fall out. Although it's creepy when there's still some strands, some long strands.
It actually is the first thing to fall off when you die. The scalp sloughs off. I've watched documentaries of corpse forests when people donate their bodies to these corpse farms, and you watch the natural decay of the human body in nature.
There's a lot of creepy research about bodies.
Yeah.
There's even a book about that what happens to dead. And it's something that happens when you donate your body to science. You think you're just contributing to the advancement of humanity, but sometimes they just like chop you up and sell you to like weird, It's not like it's
You sign
criminal.
the papers, they can do what they want.
Well, I think there's certain rules. I mean, like that industry has to have some regulation. You can't just be like some perv wants to bang my armpit.
Well,
I'm gonna go sign up and buy Hank's armpit. So, all right. Screams, of course. We got lots of screams. Oh, then finally the dragon turns up. This was a good moment. Everybody in the room cheered when we saw this. Yes, take that. Already dead. Dany knows how to blast a bunch of them. She's good at that. That's her thing. She's had practice. Tormund checking it out. Roar! So this has got to feel good. This is like when F-115 comes soaring over the football stadium and drops a bomb on the end zone.
So the whole time we're seeing this, obviously we're thinking, this is way too effective. This is too easy. The episode's just now begun. What is going to happen that's going to take these dragons out of commission? And immediately we think to the Night King.
Yeah.
How he threw that spear and he took out Viserion, or Viserys. Viserion, I believe the dragon's name was.
Yeah.
Named after Viserys, her brother, who got the crown of gold from Khal Drogo.
A crown for a king. That's how it says it. I love the special effects. And this is also true in, I think, season 7, where Daenerys attacks Jaime and Bronn and the Lannister caravan with all the gold and stuff. Yes. But they just did a great job of making it look like the fire is like lifting up dirt and sending dudes flying.
It's sending
like,
bodies in the air, yeah.
They just did a good job with the kind of... Because you can sort of tell it's just like an anime... It's sort of just like, just animated CGI sort of something. But they did I mean, normally it looks like CGI. In this case, it looks exactly like I would think.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the whole time...
I don't have an idea what I'm talking about.
How are they going to stop this? Because if they keep going at this rate, there's not going to be any whites left. There's not going to be White Walkers left. So something's got to happen.
Yeah.
So here...
Now we have Jon on... This is Jon flying...
Right. So he sees the generals. The generals always stand back and kind of watch from afar on horseback.
They do.
So he's like, hey, I take these guys out. I take out all the whites. This is going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah. These guys that have a clear shot on me, and I'm flying at them from their front like an idiot. Go around them. Come at them from the side. Do it. Strafe them. Do a whole big row.
But it shows there is a strategy. They're controlling the soldiers out in the field.
Yes. These guys are, you're saying?
Yep.
Well, they're in charge of it, or they're just there to like offer support?
No, they're in charge of it, because every time you kill one of them, all the whites that they themselves raised from the dead essentially fall apart.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen in the past.
Up when they were north
now, we've
of the wall.
only ever seen the Night King raise things from the dead, but the very fact that there are other whites that are tethered to the lesser generals tells me that they have some sort of comparable power.
Sure.
Probably not on a grand scale like the Night King has, but on some scale.
You got to have the managerial class to keep the workers in line, and then there's the king
The
at the very
CEO,
top. The CEO gets to buy yachts and shit because it's all fucking bullshit. All right, so Jon is like, oh, I think that they threw a spear. Did they throw one at him?
Well, no. What happens is that they summon.
Oh, right.
We don't know if
he's
it's,
about to go in for a run,
right.
and then this.
We don't know if it's the generals that are doing this or if it's the Night King that's doing this. But they use this, like, I guess it's some sort of a magical ability that creates this like torrent of winter air coming at them, so they can't see it. It completely disorients them and makes them completely ineffective because they cannot risk blowing fire down in the field knowing that they could possibly be hitting their own people. They need a clear line of sight.
Right, and as any airline pilot knows, you have to, fly by your instruments when you're in a cloud.
Yep.
And these dragons, no instruments. So this is trouble. It's hard to fly a dragon in the thick, cold clouds. So the other thing I was thinking, they never invented glass. They hadn't gotten around to like goggles.
Oh, there's dragon glass.
It's black. You can't see through it.
not so great.
Yeah. I mean, you ever put your head out the car when you're driving in the wintertime?
Now, have you ever seen... I need to go back from season 1 and watch to see if there's any panes of glass in windows or eyeglasses or telescopes or lenses or anything like that.
Yeah, I think they had... Oh, it's in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, does anybody ever have an eyeglass?
I never thought to look for that.
Yeah. I know that there's, throughout history, lenses were used, but they were very rudimentary, and they were sort of driven, I think, by the early years of astronomy. Because that's what incentivized the... and they were smart people figuring stuff out, because astronomers are fairly intelligent, generally. And they learned how to polish. There was like a certain European countries that were the experts at polishing lenses came about. But, because getting it... You can get probably a somewhat opaque piece of glass or quartz or something, but how do you get it to be really pure and properly
I would look for the scenes in the Citadel, see if there's magnifying glass.
Oh, well, isn't the whole structure like kind of floating in the middle of the Citadel, like these cool glass things? I mean, I'm sure it's rare or whatever. It's fine. I'm just thinking
they don't think about those things. Like, I think someone in the comments said something about to the effect of electricity. They never saw a single scene in Game of Thrones where there was lightning in the sky.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe there has been no glass. Maybe it's completely intentional, and I just haven't noticed.
Yeah, could be. I could have sworn there was one scene where there's thunder, I think. But, all right. Arya tells Sansa to go down to the crypts. Everybody who's weak should be in the crypts, basically. And Sansa doesn't want to abandon her people, but then Sansa gives her knife to Arya here, right? Is this
the Valyrian steel knife from
that
season
was
1.
Used to try to kill Bran?
Yes, and that was framed. That Tyrion was framed with.
Right, exactly. But Littlefinger owned it. Was that correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Indeed.
All right. Correct us in the comments if we're wrong, everybody.
And this is a very famous line that came back.
Arya giving some sex advice to Sansa.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
And then someone starts singing.
Yeah, Podrick is over there singing some Metallica. Exit night. Enter night. Right?
Hey, enter Night King.
Exactly. Thank you for you and I. Wow, we're just like Garful and Oates.
Garfunkel.
Yeah. So beautiful little shot here. This is actually a very dramatic shot, isn't it? Doesn't that look like a medieval painting? One of those like ensembles, a bunch of people carrying baskets and shit. Tormund's fighting there, I think. A whole bunch of dudes. Scars, take that. Stabby, stab. And oh wow, what a cool. That's
good
great.
Shot of Dragonfire.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, man, what a long tail. Wow. Okay. All right. You think he ever chases it like a dog? And Theon
in the Godwood with Bran,
protecting Bran, holding an arrow.
My mom calls him Bram. She keeps emailing me saying, "What do you think's gonna happen with Bram?" It's like, I don't know who Bram is. It's only been 8 seasons, mother.
That hit me. You hit me, you fucking funny, James. Wrong button. Hold on, left. Okay, we're starting with this one. Theon, there's this. We got another flame shot. Something, I don't know. Doctor, what's his face? Scaly skin boy.
Jorah Mormont.
He's wielding this giant sword. I assumed this was a two-hander, but this guy has some power.
A big enough dude. It's gonna be a one-hander.
I tease him about his age. But he's been a warrior his whole life, swinging swords and fighting stuff. But yeah, I get it. He kicked my butt. I'm not saying I'm better, although I have been doing push-ups lately. I can do easily at least 15.
Ooh.
possibly 15 and a half.
I could count 15 push-ups.
Well, you are an accountant, pretty much. You're probably more than an accountant. You're a specialized kind of thing, right?
I would say forensic accountant.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds cooler.
That is cooler.
I look for problems.
You dust for problems?
Yep.
All right.
Try and find where things went wrong.
Well, and that's...
Put the little markers out and the tape.
That's why you hang out with me, because I'm always doing things wrong. They're a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Guys, snow. It's getting real messy here, though. Everything is crazy. I actually kind of found it somewhat implausible. That I just feel like and this is sort of a general comment about the entire episode. Not the entire episode, but about many moments in the episode where I think of the Army of the Dead as a fluid. What are you trying to do? Crack your back? James making
No, my knee hurts. Keep on.
Oh, what happened to your knee?
No, it's just I have bad knees.
Can I rub it? I'll rub mine. Ooh. They're sort of a fluid. You really have bad knees, huh?
Really bad, yeah.
You gotta eat more collagen.
Yeah.
So they show the fight. They show the overwhelming, first appearance of the bad dudes of the wave. And it seems like that wave, once it arrives, it just would never abate. It would always be there, coming and coming and coming and over, and that's it. But the heroes always manage to get their way out of these things, and then there would be a little clearing for them to run away.
Right, I'm gonna go.
I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I'm gonna go very nerd, where people probably will have no idea what I'm talking about.
All right, let's do it.
But there is one anime series I've seen because my nephew watched it and I picked it up as well. Naruto, where there was one particular enemy called the Seven Paths of Pain, where he essentially was 7 animated corpses controlled by a main dude, and they could all see through the same set of eyes because they were all being controlled by the same guy. So if one path of pain saw you, the other ones could basically react to it because they all have shared sight, basically.
Yeah, we all know Naruto.
Yes, so they're all controlled by the same person. I figure that this was the same way, that if one white were to see you through their eyes, then all would be aware of your presence because they're all a hive mind controlled by the same Night King.
They're all like drones back to the mothership.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. That's slightly different than what I was saying, but it does relate because they're sort of one shared intention.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like he gives an order to a group of them, and then he moves his attention over to something else. Like Sauron.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at pornos. You think Sauron has me time?
And
he looks like weird porno.
There is a moment that basically proves that theory in this episode, and it was proven in an earlier episode when Jon was trapped on the island, and they were all kind of reluctant to walk across the ice because they thought they were going to fall through.
Yeah.
And that was an order given to them by their, resuscitator.
Yes, resuscitator. But then when the Hound throws a rock, and the rock, a big one, first he throws a small one, and it hits a guy in the jaw, and then he throws a big one, and it kind of just bounces off the ice. And then that's when they start testing it and actually advancing, when they could have been testing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's way back. So, more cling, clang, take that, stabby, stab, all this stuff. We get a lot of good action, really exciting. A lot of cuts, though. There was a lot of camera shots that moved around, and sort of the camera floated within Winterfell a lot. We'll get to that later on, but there wasn't really that one really famous shot where the camera stays on Jon for a long time, and the horses come out of nowhere, and arrows come out of nowhere, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
We're expecting that if the Night King makes an appearance, I say we because I say we as the whole audience, there has to be a showdown between Jon Snow and the Night King.
Yeah.
It's been foreshadowed for so long that we want to see this final fight happen.
Right. That's true. Yeah, we kind of been teased with that.
Yeah.
So here Sam is in the battle, of course, and I do like Sam a lot, but I agree he shouldn't be in this fucking fight. Get out of there, dude.
Yeah.
I know he wants to
He's a liability.
But this is his brothers. He doesn't want to leave his brothers behind, which is exactly what happens in this scene because Sam is about to get killed. Oh man! Anytime a movie does a knife near the eyeball or the face,
you're never going to see it going unless you're watching Saving Private Ryan.
Oh god, that's the worst scene. The guy saying in German. I think my sister-in-law told me because I think the German dude is saying I don't remember. I forget. Great story, but it makes it worse. It's so sick. All right, so Sam is rescued by his best friend Ed, who immediately gets killed by a bad guy. Not Sam's best friend. So we lose Dolores Head. Not a shocker. Not surprising.
Been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
Not a happy moment, but we expected deaths in this episode. We expected more prominent deaths, though. He's still an important character, but not very prominent.
But the first named death we see here. So Oh God, Sam's Club. Get it, James? All right.
Yes.
Rawr! So this is somebody with a blue eye there. I was trying to think of a person, but yep, everybody's hurt. We got screaming, we got dead, and now we're back in the crypts here, right? We're seeing some of the. I think this is Sansa entering.
There's Varys of No Lines.
Varys of No Lines up here. Varys of No Hairs as well is his other name. I thought this was interesting that they sort of framed this shot to show. I guess this is, I don't know, is this Ned with a wolf? I don't know. Did he have a wolf? Did he have a pet?
I don't think...
It's a recent one.
I want to say that Ned's statue looked different. I thought he was holding ice in a way that was sort of like kneeling down and holding with both hands with the sword pointing down. So I don't think that's Ed.
Ned's statue is just a head on a stick. But he's holding an ice pack to his severed neck hole.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think that's how ice packs work. Now we get into some of this aerial combat. We got Tom Cruise Mongoose over here flying, right? This is pretty interesting. This is Jon, and his dragon is skimming the treetops. He's losing his orientation and, not flying correctly, keeping his altitude and his attitude down. Attitude is it's a word for like sailors use, I think.
That shouldn't be.
No, that doesn't mean like personality at anything. It means something to do with wind direction or orientation, some kind of orientation for like navigation. I'm sure someone else can explain it better than I can, obviously. Anyway, we got a lot of cuts from between Dany and Jon, but they've basically lost each other here. They're just basically they're flying blind. They can barely see.
It's hard to tell whether it's happened yet or not, but they actually do kind of semi-collide in midair because they're so disoriented.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? Delivery? All right. Wow. Kiss my ass, Amazon. No, I'm just joking. All right, so open the gate. Oh, now they're retreating into the castle now, right?
Right, and this is a very heroic thing that happens here is that Lyanna, who's, that's her name, Lady Mormont.
Yeah.
Effectively, Grey Worm and the Unsullied say, protect the retreat.
Yeah.
And they form an impenetrable wall with a small opening in it so people can retreat.
Yeah.
And they're essentially preventing others from following them, which is, that's kind of self-sacrificial.
Very much so. Yeah, it was really interesting, and they would like close ranks really quickly. Like
Unsullied are very disciplined.
They're extremely disciplined. I just feel sorry for them because they're basically brainwashed. Not that I expect them all to turn and run here, but man, all battle scenes. I just think of like these are just a bunch of dudes that are just dying, just getting their lives ended because some not about rich.
Not in this
case. Some rulers. I know they're fighting for they're
fighting for humanity.
For humanity, but still, and they were freed by Dany. They could have all chosen to leave, but but okay. So anyway, there's a lot of troubles in the skies, as we will see.
And there's the Weirwood tree, so we're back with Theon and Bran.
Yeah, not an accident that the director chose a shot from the sky and then to come into this shot from above via a camera on a ladder. I can't tell what that is. That's something. All right, good comment. More action. We're getting closer to the. Stick things that we want to see. What do you call them?
I would call them,
stick objects?
Battlements or spikes.
Stick items?
Barricades.
Yeah. All right, that works. Cool overhead shot. We got the fellas. This is sort of what I was saying, though. Like, I think of them as a fluid in a way. And I know they're dispersed and maybe they're not as organized as we might want to imagine, but I don't know. I just feel like once they are entering the line of engagement, that it'll just keep piling and piling and piling, and they'll just sort of roll it over, which is sort of what happens anyway.
So the Unsullied are structured, and this is just an unending ebb and tide of bodies coming at them. So you can only take so much.
Yes, that's true. Because it just sort of wears you down. Like so we get a lot of cool shots. Arrows hitting stuff. Oh, right here, look at that.
Yeah.
That's what having a migraine is like. You ever have migraines?
Yeah, from time, yeah.
How about your grains?
Nope. I get this, mine don't hit, I hit like right here. I'm pointing to the back of my ear.
Behind your ear.
Right there, and that piece of bone right there, it just starts.
Does it stay in that spot, or does it move
stays
out?
In that spot, and it feels like a red-hot poker right in the bone.
Yeah.
It's horrific. Some people get it behind the eyes. I get mine right behind the ear.
Oof, that sucks. I had one, and it lasted for 7 days, and it was half my head. And in my face, half my face. And it was horrible. I had to stop working for a whole 4 or 5 days. It was fucking brutal. And I had never had one, and I didn't know what it was, and it was crazy.
You should try carbon monoxide headache. That is epic.
Wait, is that the Virginia State slogan?
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide headache.
That one's so bad it nearly killed me.
Yeah,
literally.
It does kill you if it.
Yes.
How did you get? What happened?
No, I've told the story a million times before, but
yeah,
it's like,
well, yeah.
We had no power for 2 weeks. I stormed Virginia. I was very young. My mom thought she was doing the kind thing. Went into my room where I was asleep. Put a kerosene heater in there. Thought, I'll give him a little bit of the heat and not give it to myself.
Close the door.
Close the door. Basically, nearly killed me.
Whoa.
Good times.
Man, I'm glad your mom didn't kill you.
Yeah. In some ways, it might have been better to not have woken up than to woken up to that, because that was just excruciating.
So what did you think when you woke up? How old were you?
I was probably 12, 13.
All right, so old enough to maybe be with it, but also be a panicked little kid too.
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you just like, were you breathing?
No, it was like negative 12 degrees outside. I remember running outside, with no barefoot and everything, not feeling the pain of the cold because my head was in such pain. And banging my head against the side of the house.
You banged your head against the house?
Yeah, and I just remember hearing like the ice crackling on the side of the house and like ice falling around me, but I was just trying to make the pain go away.
What made you bang you just decided that would help with the pain?
It hurt so bad I couldn't think straight. That's just what I did.
Oh, man. Golly, Jesus, fuck! I feel like calling the cops. All right, so come on! They're all trying to retreat. I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're okay.
I lost about 50% brain functionality.
Yeah, well, thank God, because the world couldn't handle someone as intelligent as you if you could live up to your full potential. You guys should see this guy. He's got huge feet. All right, so more like huge toes, I'd say. Now your feet are pretty long. What size shoe you got? 14?
Usually like 10 and a half. I got
what? I wear 10 and a half. I have tiny feet.
I just have wide feet.
Yeah, you got
like duck feet.
Yeah, they're like camels get jealous of your feet. All right, so more unsullied dudes with their spade faces, and there they go. And oh, look at that guy. Why don't you just lean forward and stab with that? Put some poison on the end. I've seen that in some of them. I think that's the top of the hermit crab.
That's right. They put it down when there's no mail.
The horseshoe. There's no mail. Yeah, they stack up receipts on them like a restaurant. So yeah, even Davos is going, ooh, Davos. Big fights. The way they're lined up, I guess you just wait for this line to get killed, and then you got another row of spikes to stab with. I guess that's basically it.
It's not a very effective defense against things that are only vulnerable to dragon's glass and who do not feel pain.
That's true. Are those dragon glass spears?
I don't know. I would hope that they are.
Yeah,
but
I would think they tried. So yeah, tough to say. So yeah, we got all kinds of more flame stuff. I think that might be that's not Beric Dondarrion, is that someone's got a whole...
I would say that it would have to be a Beric because the only flaming swords were with the Dothraki. So he's the sole owner of that
with the flaming sword there. Oh yeah, so that's right. We see Grey Worm. There's a moment where he sort of looks at the Red Lady because they're shooting the spiky items.
Right, like the trenches, he's saying.
The trenches, and they were going out. Well, first they expected the dragons.
The dragons were supposed to do it as part of the plan, but the dragons can't see them, and they realize, they say, "Oh shoot, they can't see us."
Right. So shoot them with arrows. Yeah. And the arrows don't work.
Yeah, the arrows do not ignite.
So they bring out the Unsullied form, this great little formation to protect the Red Lady, and she comes waltzing out like she's early for court.
Yeah.
She's just is barely on her way. Hurry up!
Let's say there's very little hustle.
No hustle. She should be on one of those scooters that are going all over the place.
Mobility scooter,
just not you think a rascal like at Walmart, like one of those. I meant more of the ride share scooters. I don't think anybody shared.
Like a bird or something.
Yeah, bird or whatever they're called. Or the rascal's funny too. I like that. Yep. But she's taking her time. I was so frustrated. We have people dying. Hello, hurry up. But maybe the god that she's praying to doesn't like it when people are in a rush or something, I guess. So anyway, she's got the firepower, or she can maybe summon up some fire and get some flames going. And she starts going, ikaduba, mekalekahai, mekahaini ho, and
Pee-wee Herman, really?
It's not my fault. Pee-wee Herman worships the Lord of Light and Wizzo, his buddy. So
eventually it takes her like maybe 10, 12 chance, but it actually does work. The Lord of Light answers. The trenches ignite, and it's nice again. Not because it's an important thing to keep the White Walkers at bay. It's like, I can finally see again.
Yes.
Thank you.
You can see something. It was fairly standard tension building where it's like, make it look and then like it won't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I was half expecting like an arrow or something. Not that the Whites are shooting arrows, but for something to get her, so she would fall down and be like, oh shoot, it didn't work.
And then her corpse erupts in fire as a death moment, and then that lights it. That would have been kind of cool. See? I should be right.
And the Hound is not too pleased by this. The Hound does not like fire.
I thought I was scared of the dead. Instead, I'm actually just traumatized by my childhood. So this is a pretty cool moment, though. I thought it was neat the way the
buys them
flames lit
time.
up. Yep, it surrounds Winterfell.
And it allows the dragons to see what's going on, so now Dany, and Jon can swoop down and do their thing.
Don and Janie can come flying in.
And they do immediately.
Right. Yeah, so they get into the action and start roasting some of these fellas. But they stop. This is also so super creepy where they just sort of stop and stare.
Okay, that shows they're all controlled by a hive mind. There's a tactical reason for that.
Yeah, this is what it looks like from the inside of Taco Bell before it opens.
No, I do mine through Grubhub. So,
so back to the Crypts. Sansa and Tyrion are having a little moment. I don't remember the what part is that about, but something. And they're talking about Tyrion wants to be out there. He's saying,
he says, perhaps if we're out there, we'd see something the rest of them don't, something that would matter.
Yeah, he's feeling frustrated, and he wants to be involved.
Yeah, and he says, like in the Battle of Blackwater with the wildfire, and Varys was like, yeah, and you got your face cut in half. And he goes, yes, but it mattered. It made a difference.
Mm-hmm. It did. It made his face worse. Sansa is checking, all right, there you go. And I can think of no words.
He's referring to the fact, she said that if you go out there, you would die. And he says, becoming one of them, I can think of knows that we're less suited to my talents, because he would not be an effective White Walker. He would be a little White Walker.
And this sums up my comedy career. Man, it's just not working. Witty remarks. I should have stayed in data entry. It's the most heroic thing. So she says we're useless, so we can't fight. Right. We would be in the way, essentially, is what she's saying. And this is the most heroic thing. The word most is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this sentence, because if she said just the heroic thing, it's not really heroic, but it is the most heroic.
Yeah.
So they're doing their part by being honest about their abilities, and that's true for everybody. I can't skateboard, therefore I don't go tell Tony Hawk he's a punk ass bitch.
They are not fighters.
Yeah, exactly. So there's Tyrion, there's Sansa. Now though, Tyrion even makes a joke like, maybe we should have stayed married, and she actually, this is sort of a lighthearted moment, like you were the best of them.
Because she was to be married to Joffrey, she was married to Tyrion, and she was married to the horrific Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah.
So, and what a terrifying thought.
Right.
But he was the best of them.
He was. He
never laid a finger on her.
Never. Which in this world, all it takes to be a good husband is to not rape your wife.
Yep.
That's nice of them. No, but he did protect her, and it was all very weird for him. He just basically got drunk. And because he didn't really...
He never had any intention of acting on the forced marriage.
Yeah, and for her, what was a very terrifying prospect, at least he, didn't, so, and nor did he even think, whatever. He was good, and this is funny that they've evolved so much in the story that they can have this conversation here, so... A lot more to get through, though, so it wouldn't work between... Then they keep talking about... I thought that was a little weird that they're just like,
why not? Because of the Dragon Queen. Because they don't see eye to eye. He's the hand of the Queen, and she doesn't really respect the authoritarian rule of the Queen.
Yeah, but that whole second phase of that conversation felt like just explaining the joke a little bit, and like, well, okay.
It was kind of reinforcing the end goal of, I believe, no one to sit on the Iron Throne, that she refuses to bend the knee to Daenerys if Daenerys were to win the war and assume role to the throne.
Right, yeah. And Melisandre here says, if it wasn't for the Queen, we wouldn't have any problems because you'd all be dead.
Right. And the whole time I was just hoping that her hair would ignite from that flame right there so we could actually see what's going on.
That was part of the problem with the episode. Whoosh! Look at that. Your hair ever caught on fire? Like your mom put a candle next to your bed?
I caught my foot on fire, but never mind.
You caught your foot on fire?
Yeah.
All right, we'll save that for the end. So there's Varys and Theon now. We're back in the Weirwood Wide Web here with Bran. You plugged into the router, and the fellas are ready to protect him. As I said, the Ironborn aren't going to do crap to protect Bran. I mean, they do, but I just felt like that was
There are surprisingly few people guarding Bran.
Yeah. A circle of archers in a forest where the woods are close to you. Archers are more effective on open spaces. I've played video games for a long time. I know what I'm talking about. So Theon's having a little bit of an apology moment, and what's this guy? Bran is like, yeah, you did, or Bram, as we might call him.
Yes, Bram.
It's like, you're here now, and you made it, and you're home. This is where you belong. Everything got you here right now. which is bullshit because that's true for everybody. And some of us had to arrive where we are right now with maybe it could have been easier, but maybe it's not. That makes us who we are. And that's why I meditate. There's Bran, and he's doing his whole thing, just being emo as shit. And Wargs, he goes, I'm going now, right?
So this is the part of the episode where I finally thought that my predictions were going to come to fruition. I was like, okay, he's going to warg into a dragon. He's going to warg into something that's going to matter, something that's actually going to give him a tactical edge in the battle, and he goes into freaking ravens.
Yeah, and they were like hanging around a tree, and so then the ravens fly around. So we do get the cool aerial shot behind the ravens with the pack of them through the whole thing. This
does give us the vision where we first see what the ravens see, which is...
dragon tail. Cool
getting
dragon
there.
Tail. Oh, you're saying to keep going. Yeah. The ravens fly up.
And it's coming, and it's big, and it's important, and it's critical,
it's
and
pretty quick.
It's the Night King.
There he is. Look at him.
On his dragon. He is at Winterfell.
What if he had a GoPro like on his helmet, like a motorcycle guy? That's him. He's there. We finally see the guy. He's on Viserion or whatever. Viserion. That's a cool shot. So his eyes are blue, but are they white? Is he warging actively, or is that just...
It's hard to tell. Whether or not he's actively controlling the dragon via his warg power, or if that's how he,
I think he's just kind of radiating. He's like a microwave with
it's tough to tell.
Yeah. So, wow, look at that shot. That's pretty cool.
But this is a huge moment that kind of disproves the whole theory of him being down at King's Landing, raising the army from the south. Yeah. He is here, and the very fact that he is here means that potentially, if they play their cards right, they can end this entire conflict tonight.
Well, that's their only hope for winning, is to go after him. That's what Jon said at the planning meeting. So now the whites are all hanging out, but then one steps into the fire. Davos figures it out because he's a smart fella. He's like, oh, crap, I know what they're doing. They start just sort of sacrificing themselves to form a...
They have the numbers. Why not?
A human bridge, a white bridge. So that's bad. Maybe they should have dug their trench a little deeper, although they didn't have a lot of time. They did their best. Man the walls. I'd be like, yeah, I know, idiot. What do you think I've been doing? So they form this little corpse bridge, and they start flooding back on. And little Lyanna is yelling and stuff. She gives great orders.
Yeah,
I thought it'd boss me around.
Someone on Reddit said that they did an interview with her, and she said the one thing she misses the most about filming Game of Thrones is being able to stand in the room and shame entire groups of grown men. She's funny. Awesome.
Yeah, she's cool. I expect we'll see her in other stuff. Her and Arya will probably team up in a buddy comedy. Called
she's young,
the Arya.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, and they stab dudes in the eyeballs. So there's Jon's view. This is just I said, why are they only doing it in one spot? And then they're doing it like in multiple spots. So they're breaking through. The fire is no longer the defense it was supposed to be. Now we have a little bit of a moment. This is cool. Jon's seeing the dragon up in the sky.
And we know that it's Night King because you can tell the dragon, and at least my way of telling is the holes in the wings. Yeah. That is the ice dragon.
Right. Yeah. The ratty ass wings there. Yeah, that's true. So he's it's like he drives your car.
My car is beautiful.
No, I
love my car. It has character.
It does.
It has burgundy power.
Yeah. It's got a monoxide headache. It gets you where you want to go. I feel like a dickhead. I apologize. I shouldn't just shit on your car. I'm sorry.
The world has already done that.
The birds have done that.
I never wash it.
So, relieve the archers. They're trying to, they're having a fight here. They're shooting arrows. Everything doesn't work. I mean, they're killing anything they kill. It doesn't really matter. They just keep moving.
It is pure overwhelming force coming at them. There's no hope.
Yeah. So it's just sort of a flood. It's not yet even a flood though, but they're, Gendry, he's bashed a couple heads, looking around.
But at this point in the episode, we're pretty much like halfway through, and I'm actually surprised to not see any significant deaths aside from
Dolores Head.
Yeah,
that's true. You think they'd start whipping them, killing them right away. They're starting to breach the upper ramparts or parapets. I think might be one of those words. It's a lot like World War Z, the Brad Pitt film. Mm-hmm. Best film he's ever made.
Climbing over their own bodies.
They just form a ramp of bodies. Pretty cool, Of course, as I said, don't put the spikes on top. Put the spikes in the middle parts. They're gonna climb down the shorter. Okay.
You gotta leave room for your Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. Oh man. Smash, break head, skull break, boom, boom, kill. Even Sam's getting a little aggressive face. That's exciting for everybody. Look at that. This is him actually getting tackled, I think, right? He's not really doing much good.
That's just him getting to the front of the P.F. Chang's line.
They're almost out of General Tso's chicken. My favorite. Oh, more sauce, please. Oh, I love the sauce. Yeah. Somebody on the comments, by the way, I didn't get a chance to respond to the comments, everybody. Apologies. I meant to. I just got really busy. Said that our impressions are just high-pitched voices. I'm like, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we never...
What do you think we do?
I don't. We never claimed to have any ability to do impressions. The whole point is that they are god-awful.
Yeah.
We are very self-aware of that.
Exactly.
I mean, yours are actually good. Mine are just
no.
intended to be god-awful.
Yours are intended to be god-awful. Mine are intended to be good, but they're terrible. Yeah. No, I think a couple might be okay.
All my impressions literally are just a higher-pitched version. If I'm Gilly. Oh, I'm Gilly. How are you doing?
Do Drogon.
I'm Drogon. How are you?
See? You got comedy instincts. All right, so you got more smashy fights here. This is all fun stuff. I like that they fall like vertical. They just sort of like they don't care to even really tip over. They just sort of, or they might tip over.
Because when you fall, your body naturally moves in a position that is intended to protect yourself from harm.
Yeah.
To brace for an impact.
Right.
These things don't care.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, when someone's falling, they're either swinging wildly or trying to...
Yeah, not to fall on your face and your important parts.
Yeah, your arms and your legs.
That's not a factor in their equation.
Yeah, that's a great insight. Yeah, exactly. That's what's sort of unnerving about that kind of way of falling. And of course, the Hound is checked out, reliving his childhood traumas, wishing he'd signed up for therapy when he was at university. And there he goes. He's going, oh, shit, there's fire and it's free. Yeah, man. He's having a little bit of a moment himself. And, uh-oh, there you go. That's my grandma asking me to bring her a hug. Get over here, you little fucker. No, I love my grandma, obviously, of course. The one that's still alive.
Mine are long dead.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How long?
Probably the last one died about 6 years ago or so, if not more.
I'm sorry for your loss. Want me to rub your knee?
Sure. I knew you wouldn't.
I couldn't. I reached for James's foot, but I was repelled by a force.
Yeah.
All right. So, this guy's, everything's happening all fast. Oh, Arya comes rushing in. Now, we have a lot of Arya in this episode, too, which is kind of cool.
So, if you're one of the people that actually watched the teaser for this season and saw Arya with the bloody forehead running in a panic through the crypts as though something were, like, snapping at her heels, then you would be on the same page as I was right now, because I knew that she was not going to die at this point in time, because I knew that scene had to happen.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, okay. See, that's the kind of, not to bring up the spoilers, we know we could probably divorce over that if we talk about it too much.
I knew that you didn't see that.
I didn't see it.
I didn't mention it during the watching
But I would call that a spoiler, because you knew she wouldn't die, that made this scene less impactful.
Yeah, I mean, the very fact that HBO wanted us to know that and wanted us to see that.
Oh yeah, motherfucker! Well, no, what if that's what happened? No, we did that last season.
I agree, though. It did take something away from that scene, because I knew that there was no chance of her falling at that point.
Yeah, for sure. It's okay, though. I mean, I'm not trying to get back into that topic, but I just apply a wider net to the concept more than most people do. So there's the, I think we're in the Arya fight. Yeah, so Arya's really whipping ass here. We get to see her weapon, by the way. Now, there was some speculation about this thing. We thought it was going to shoot like the tip out. You said there's another theory.
There was a theory on Game of Thrones Reddit where someone made a post. I believe the post was called Momentum. And it predicted that she would throw this weapon across the battlefield at a very important white commander. He would catch it with his hand right before it hit his face. And the momentum of the interior part would cause the interior part of the spear to keep following through and go right through his forehead.
Right.
Which would have been so freaking awesome.
That would have been pretty cool.
They did not do that. And the showrunners even said, they commented about Arya's weapon, saying that it was going to be awesome, it was going to be cool. And instead we just get these scenes of her waving this thing around with fairly effectively.
She's good at
taking out a lot of things, but nowhere even remotely as cool as the idea of the momentum thing.
Yeah.
So I was very disappointed by that.
Yeah, the mechanics of that are kind of, how does that work? So the thing has to be very secure and then be able to release upon the correct moment. But if you're, it would come loose. I don't know, I just don't think.
They teased us saying it was going to be so freaking cool, and it wasn't.
Okay, we see it eventually, though, right?
She's able to disconnect it into two pieces, and then it's like, whoopity freaking do.
Doesn't Darth Maul do that with his sword, or not?
Well, he turned his lightsaber into two lightsabers, so...
Yeah,
but that's in a whole other level in this.
Arya Maul.
Yeah.
Right.
This was my first major disappointment moment, seeing that Arya's weapon was just that.
Based off of a speculative Reddit post. You can't build your expectations off that, even if it would have been pretty cool. Like, what if it turned into
It was basically the weapon the waif was using.
The what?
The waif.
Oh, the waif. Yeah, but it was made by her boyfriend. So it has extra meaning. She's going to wedge it into the corner of her mirror. You know?
Mira?
Yeah, Mira. I don't know. Oh, Lyanna. She's looks like she's about to sneeze.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but they're trying to get everybody back inside, right? Isn't that what's going on here? Or no, this is when the giant...
I believe the giant is coming at some point in the future.
Yeah, so something's going on there at the thing. All right, that's Lance Armstrong. There, what is that? Is that the giant?
It looks like a giant, potentially, to me.
I don't know. It's just so dark on our screen. Sorry, guys. It's
no.
It's Arya fighting up on the hill here. The giant's pretty close to this, but that's Arya because this is. I know I would have more screenshots of the giant. That is the giant. Okay, maybe it was a giant. Okay, so they're cutting back and forth so much, and I'm trying not to take too many screenshots, although we have 700. So, but I don't. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, so that is definitively a zombie giant.
He breaks through the door. That's cool.
Yes.
He was like the guy that comes in.
Because nobody was holding the door.
My prediction.
Which your prediction sadly did not come to fruition.
I still say he'll turn up this season. Oh, wait a minute. No.
You can't.
Wait, spoilers. Fuck, you're right. Oh, man. Zodor is gone. Mm-hmm. And I was going to say that he was going to... I predicted zombie Hodor would turn up, and he would bash the door open and say, Odor, open the door.
Oh, the door. Oh, the door.
Yeah, and he'd have a bad odor. Get it?
Yes.
All right, so, so disappointing.
So I feel like what just happened, we may have missed the screenshot of it, but Lyanna...
No, I think there's more there. I remember that happening. Hang on, just hold your thought. We're close.
There's the hit, and then there's the finale.
Yeah, he whacks her with like a big mace.
Yeah, so
hard.
she gets mortally wounded by being hit by a giant.
Yeah.
This little tiny girl with a big spear gets hit by a giant.
You'd think it would kill her.
Yeah, you're like, okay, she's dead. She's down for the count.
Yeah, but I said they didn't show her die. They like to really zero in on the death moment. So I figured she was probably wounded, because people in this show seem to be able to survive things that normal us regular
like
folk.
Iron Guts Arya.
Iron Guts Arya. So Barrick's trying to talk Phil. I almost said Phil Collins. Talk the Hound into being getting off his freaked out butt, and he's like, even points out Arya is fighting. You know.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that snaps him out of it, because he's like, we can't beat death. Death cannot be defeated. And he's like, tell her that. And he looks up and sees Arya fighting for her life. And that motivates him to actually do something.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Lyanna, having taken a mortal wound from a giant, still
going at it.
Yeah,
battling her way through this whole thing.
Freaking amazing.
She's going right for him. Mismatch here, though. I don't know if she's got much of a shot. He picks her up and he just sort of squeezes.
Yeah, you can just hear the crunching of her armor and being brutal. Crushed to death.
I expected him to bite her head off.
Yeah, I was hoping that didn't happen. It looked like he was about to do that, because he was bringing her up to his face at a certain point.
Yeah. Like, that's how I open it.
And I was...
Open bananas.
Yeah, I was just hoping at this point, it's like, okay, she's clearly dead. There's no coming back, but let her go out with a bang.
Let her go out with a bang.
Sure as heck she did.
Yep, she wanted to have a bang, and she pulls out a something, and we see the giant real close. Ooh, look right up the nose, huh? Man. Oh, is that... Do our noses... Do our holes go upwards if we get rid of the nose part? Yeah, they do. If you see a skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Now that I'm remembering. Man.
Because clearly his weak part is the eye, because... not having his other eye was so deadly to him.
Yeah. Oh, is this 1-1?
It's possible.
1-1 gets shot in the eye by Ramsay Bolton.
Actually, you're right. It's very possible.
But they wouldn't have. How would the Whites have gotten his body? Because they wouldn't have moved his body out of Winterfell far. I mean, they might have.
You're right. That's true. He didn't die at the right place for that to happen. But the very fact that one's missing an eye, kind of seems a little on point for it being 1-1. But you're right. The logistics of it don't really pan out.
Yeah, myth plausible, as they say in Mythbusters. I don't know. So the other eye gets taken out. Now he's 2-2, and dead.
He's no.
None. No nose. None is the one. So that's great. She did get a kill. She finally,
That's a pretty big kill.
Gets a big kill. Yeah, look at that. She's so tiny. Look at those
Maybe
big
she'll
fingernails.
resurrect when she levels up from that. I know I mentioned that earlier, but that's a lot of experience points.
So she's dead, though. We're calling this dead?
She's dead.
Yeah. So she goes down. The giant goes down. Everything, and it turns into a pile of giant bones. And sad to see her dead, I think.
But the tiniest person taking out the biggest thing.
David and Goliath.
Yeah, it's she went out pretty well.
Yep, she did. That's the way all little girls are supposed to die. So back to the snowy upper areas. The Night King is flying around on his car, and we have a little bit of an aerial battle. These shots were really cool. I appreciate
so
this
that's Jon and Daenerys up in the front, up not knowing where he is,
Right.
and he kind of ambushes them from the bottom,
With
comes flying up with dragon fire, and it
go.
looks pretty bad for them right now. They're feeling the heat.
Yeah, they're feeling the heat. It's the blue plasma flame, blue fire, and no confetti dragons yet, unfortunately. Cool shot there. I'll enjoy that. Dany's like, oh, shit. Oh, thank God I'm impervious to flames, although I'm not sure about blue flames.
Yeah.
Right? What if she just got her clothes burned off and she shows up naked?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. Hard nips. It's cold.
Parsnips.
I have hard... why did I laugh so much at that?
You shouldn't have.
Well, I was thinking it's funny that you can just disarm me by just saying whatever stupid word I said, but with slightly, just reconstitute it into something else. So, beautiful moon. I love this. Dragons in the moonlight. This is nice. Like, very romantic. Jon Snow is checking stuff out. Now we're back to Arya inside. She's been battling up in the courtyards and on the roofs and the ramparts. But now she's in sort of a kind of a corridor area indoors here. And so we get a stealth mission. Right?
Right. Like it's like the video game stealth missions that I hate because I absolutely hate stealth requirements. They're so boring. You get through the whole thing and then you fail. You make a mistake at the last minute.
Yeah.
You got to reload your save game. Start at the very beginning.
It's pattern recognition and puzzle.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, but they tend to be pretty much just patterns. And so Arya's like, dodging from one bookcase to another. She's at the library here or whatever. The whites are sort of randomly shambling about. Not really going anywhere.
Their area of awareness is pretty low. Then it doesn't really show where she's bleeding from, though. I presume her forehead.
That's my guess, yeah. And Arya's got a little mini map in the bottom. She can see the little
her radar,
the little radar thing, and she can tell where they're looking. But this guy, I don't know if the blood catches his attention. Is that why he looks under the table?
I mean, they're all shambling around and groaning, so you'd think that the sound of like little blood patter on the floor wouldn't really be something that would be notable to them, but apparently it was. And there's never been any indication that they can smell or anything like that. So.
Right. Yeah, I didn't quite get that. Although, I guess blood makes a noise when it hits the surface.
But not enough of a noise to warrant them taking notice.
Could be. But it was pretty quiet in there. It was pretty quiet. But, yeah, you're right, though. Anyway, she barely escapes. The guy actually bends down, and then she's gone, which is implausible. But now we have that's a pretty freaky face. That's nice. More dudes here. Arya finally gets out of there and closes the door. Oh, no.
She runs around the corner and
she immediately stabs. It's one of those moments where you can't tell who's stabbed.
Yeah, you can't tell if it's a real person or a white.
Yeah.
But fortunately,
it's Arya got stabbed or something.
Yeah.
But it pretty clearly, I wish I got a better shot of that. But Arya gets her right up the throat so she doesn't make a noise, and kind of sets her down, pets her hair, closes her eyes, and says her Hail Mary.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to turn out to be a very important character that she just killed right there that we just weren't aware of, with Osha or someone, or probably wasn't. I didn't recognize her, so I'll take that hit.
Yeah, one of her handmaidens or something.
Yep.
So yeah, Arya gets out of there, and she encounters.
Would make sense because Osha was killed back, in Winterfell underneath Bolton's rule, and that was not decayed enough, but whatever.
I'm a fan of OSHA.
Yep.
Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Hazards.
Yes, hazards.
Something. I don't know. But I heard a statistic that OSHA, I think this is a slightly old statistic, but it certainly hasn't gotten better, but it's funded to inspect every workplace every 130 years. That's the rate. That's how much we prioritize worker safety. So, all right, now we're back in the Crypts. With all the scared, useless people. This is where I would be. I'd be trying to make jokes and be like, hey guys, anybody want to have a podcast? You guys hate Trump? So they go getting up there. The little girl, this is our soup eater who wants to protect the Crypts. Yep. Now there were some predictions, and I sort of shared it, although I didn't necessarily would have put it above 50% likelihood that she would have a critical moment where she grabs a knife, stabs some monster in the eye or the back or something like that, where she gets to actually do her
just way too young.
I know, but little kids can still move their arms if they're holding a knife.
Yeah, Chucky.
Exactly. What if she crawled under the bed and cut an Achilles heel off with a scalpel?
That's Pet Cemetery again.
I always make that mistake. You sure?
Well, I'm sure Chucky's done it as well, but not just with a scalpel.
You don't have to be that nice to me. I don't think Chucky did. Okay. All right. Varys is going, oh, wish I had hair. So they're going up there. The doors are thudding. Things are starting to happen.
But the soldiers
the action's
actually
getting closer to the crypts.
The soldiers are yelling at this point, open the doors, please open the doors, which means that the fighting has actually gotten to the point where the soldiers outside are retreating to the crypts, which means that they're at their doorstep.
They're not doing well. Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Now, do you see any glass in that pane?
It looks glassy. Maybe it's, I don't know. I just feel like if they would have had rudimentary glass, like they had oiled paper, right? Isn't that the original windows?
Yep.
Well, I guess the original windows were holes.
No, original Windows was DOS.
Well done. I like that. CD ... right? Am I right? D :
Nope.
Doctor, check out D :
God.
I'm that old. I need to get my prostate checked out. I mean, I hope they don't find any.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's bad. It's bad. This is Arya, I think, right? Somebody stabbing a person. Someone's dying. Oh yeah, that's right. Arya's being pushed out the door. Beric Dondarrion swoops in. That's right. This is what I'm forgetting. He throws his sword.
Right, he throws his sword to save Arya because the whites are on top of her to the point where she's inches away from death.
Yeah.
He saves her but loses his weapon in doing so, and he takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, he takes some damage. His hit points are going down rapidly in this scene. And they're off. They're running. The Hound is there too. They're in these corridors, though we're not quite sure where in the city or where in Winterfell they are, but. Dondarrion, though, gets trapped in this little corner. Arya dives in and fights him off. She's pretty relentless, she doesn't take shit. And then this is him getting stabbed a whole bunch of times, and he's going, ow, my kidney, ow, my spleen, ow, my other kidney, my torso.
Right, but he's died many times before, so this is, old hat to him.
Yeah, this is like him having a migraine.
Yeah.
Like, this lasts for a little while. Do you think they chose a shot where it's sort of sacrificial? Is there some sort of religious connotation here?
Although he is in a crucifixion pose.
The thing about that shape is like it's not.
It's a very common shape people take.
Two sticks crossing each other at right angles isn't magic. Neither is a human being putting their arms straight out. That's also pretty normal. We have a range of motion, and straight out is fairly common.
Just last week, Saudi Arabia executed 37 people, one of which was executed by crucifixion. So
Are you serious? One of them was a crucifixion?
Apparently, that's a common thing over there.
Jesus Christ.
And yet we're allies.
Fuck? Yeah, yet we're still funding their genocide in Yemen. All right, that's enough about politics, because there's, for some reason, two sides to that issue. What the fuck, man? This is crazy. We have so much backwards-ass shit in this world. Oh, God. All right, so... This courtyard, I don't think we saw this battle. Is this like the main fireplace, the kind of hall, or whatever you call it?
Kind of looks like it, yeah.
And there's just a lot of dead dudes in there.
It reminds me a lot of like a scene from Diablo, going through a scene like barricades and things and disheveled furniture and like the signs of a struggle or a quick exodus.
Yeah, you'd be looking for like small glowy parts. That indicates that you could interact with that loot item. That would be great. So poor Beric, his eyes are closed. His last eye, I guess, is closing.
So we think, okay, the Lord of Light has resurrected him like 19 times before, so perhaps they'll bring him back again. But apparently, Melisandre is in the room, and she's like, he has served his purpose. This is the reason the Lord of Light has brought him back so many times.
That's right.
He was supposed to get you safely here.
Yeah.
And then she has a moment with Arya, and she says that Arya and her were destined to meet because she had a prophecy that Arya killed many people, brown eyes, green eyes, and then she says... blue
I thought I got it. I didn't get the blue eyes. Yeah, blue eyes.
Many blue eyes.
Which I took to be me, because my eyes are like White Walker eyes.
Yeah, I have the same, but
No, mine are better.
Mine are contact lens.
Girls who've complimented my eyes. Yeah. Oh my God, your eyes. I'm like, haven't you looked? You've known me for years. I'm insulted. No, I'm joking. Hey, it's been a while. I gotta get on Bumble or something. I'm so lonely.
Bumble?
It's a dating app. I don't know. It's, there's one called Hinged. Unhinged would probably be where I belong.
I've never heard of these things.
All right, so here we go.
So she's basically predicting that Arya is going to take out a lot of White Walkers when she says blue eyes. I mean, obviously that's what that means. And the very fact that she says that they were destined to meet means that Arya is going to have to do some important things.
Yeah.
Which makes me think maybe she won't die this episode.
You were thinking she was going to die.
Perhaps, yeah.
I didn't think any Starks were going to die this episode because I predicted that one of them will die this season. I feel like they just have to kill one of them. There's 4 left.
Yep.
And I'm saying Sansa. That's just my guess. I'm doing a death pool at work, so I'm not hoping she dies, but I would be shocked if none of the Starks get killed this season.
I'm not saying anything whatsoever about Avengers Endgame, but the whole thing about Avengers Endgame being released this weekend, technically came out Thursday, but
Sure,
no,
yeah,
technically this is the opening weekend, and Game of Thrones happening here is that the whole big thing was people saying, regardless of whether it's, Tony Stark or Winterfell Stark, some Stark's going to have to die.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Whether or not that came to fruition, I'm not going to say.
I just hope that fucking Hawkeye is no longer around. I'd like to think that he messed up one of his shots. Like when you do a bow and arrow and you like miss it, and then it just goes poing, and then like the arrow stays in the bow. I hope that happened. All right, so speaking of arrows, there's Theon with his flame arrow, and he's shooting at fellas. So another beautiful shot up above. Look at all this. These must be the scars from the dragons going. That's pretty cool. Look, cool dragon up in the sky, James. Nice. Wow. Ooh.
That's definitely Viserion.
Yeah. This is me when I'm hungry for Chinese food.
I could go for some Chinese right now, but it's too late.
You want me to drive you to Del Taco? Ooh. I totally will.
The home of diarrhea.
Yeah, where it lives and dies. The birthplace and death plate. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so the dragon, the Night King, is swooping in on his Uber. He takes a big blast at the whole wall. I think he does a lot of damage with it. And boom, boom, take that wall. Did we talk about the wall theory with Bran the Builder? Did that come up already?
There was a theory that someone else postulated saying that Bran the Builder built both the wall and built Winterfell so that there was presumed to be magical wards in the walls and in the crypts that would prevent the White Walkers from entering there. That apparently did not come to be in the show.
No.
So, debunked.
So, yeah, there's not a completely... I mean, that's a fairly logical supposition. I don't think that was necessary.
But the problem is that the Night King was basically taking out the walls with such effectiveness that something had to happen to stop him from continuing to do that, because he took out the entire wall doing the same attack. So Jon comes up and basically bumps him.
Yeah. Jon smashes into him, and they have a little dragon fight. You ever see that when eagles lock their claws and they just start swinging around in the air?
Yeah, the creepy thing here is that the dragons are biting at each other, and Jon almost gets bitten multiple times by Viserion, but Viserion is taking chunks out of the other Rhaegar or Rhaegon.
Rhaegaryon.
I'm gonna get that wrong, but it's not looking good for Jon's dragon.
No, they're both taking some damage though. At least the dragons are pretty tough. But
Viserion loses like half his jaw in this exchange.
He does?
Yeah, he gets his neck gets beaten up, and he gets a big chunk of his jaw taken out.
Ah, jeez, Jon needs to go back to driving school. And yeah, this is a cool fight. I enjoyed the whole thing there. There you go. Got him a little zapping him there with his zapper. What do they call those things? Click, 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 click.
Tasers.
Tasers. Thank you. So the Night King swoops in here. He's getting ready to launch a spear at Dany, right? Or is this the moment where he does that?
Yeah, he just barely misses her.
Yeah, I think that's this moment. Anyway, so yeah, we have a good dragon fight. This is fun, and this is their siblings, their brothers or sisters.
But they're not really being sentimental at this point. He realizes that this is not his brother.
Not friendly wrestling. This is a battle to the permanent death or undeath, I guess. And then now this is Viserion, Jon's dragon.
Yeah,
radar gun.
Yes.
I thought it was cool the way they did the work, like the animation. Like it took a bunch of steps, like it was trying to maintain its balance, and it sort of fell forward with this giant keel chest here.
Significantly, yeah.
Yeah, and it went down, and kind of Jon rolls off it. Jon grunts. That's So there we go. Big bad times for the dragon, and now what is that? I can't. I think that's Dany up from above, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Daenerys.
Oh yeah. So now we have this face-off between the Night King. Now, okay, we'll get to it later. I think these spikes got bigger than the first time we saw them. I feel like that's a thing that I've observed. I don't.
But this is kind of a moment where finally the Night King can be openly attacked.
Yeah.
And this goes back to when Bran was sitting in Winterfell saying, like, oh, the Night King is vulnerable if we can take him out. Has anyone ever tried hitting him with a dragon fire? Mm-hmm. And Bran says, I don't know. No one has tried.
Yeah.
Which kind of made me think this is going to be like an anime moment where they hit him with the full brunt of their attack, and then the flames are going to subside, and he's going to be standing there completely unfazed. Right.
Or they go around him like in a ball, like a circle, a force field or something.
But this is it. She says they're laying Dracarys. And then the music swells, and like, okay, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, finally. Fire and ice.
Fire burning up an icy heart, man. Mm-hmm. And, she really cooks him, too. She gives him the old, and, nope, Nope. He should have just been like chewing on a marshmallow, just like a perfectly brown marshmallow.
And this is the first time maybe I've missed it before, but it looks like he's smirking. He's showing some sort of emotion.
A little bit, yeah. Kind of more just like, that all you got, bitch. Yeah. Bring it. Come on. What if he's got a high-pitched voice? Ooh, try again.
Yeah.
All right, so Dany is like, oh, fuck, that's all I got. She's like, I'm out of ideas. But Jon has crashed near here too. So Jon sees this kind of going down. They keep showing Jon approaching, and he's running up as
and we think this is going to be the moment that we were promised all this time along. Azor Ahai or Azai, whatever the name is going to fight the Night King. This is two kings going, King of the North versus the King of the White Walkers.
King of Canada. Yeah. Yes. And he runs up. He rushes at him. He's got the sword thing on his back there. Let's take a look at some of that detail. This is kind of cool. Check this out. I feel like these are taller. I want to look up a picture of the way back. Oh, look, someone bit off his ear during a sexual encounter. Must have been making out with a mole rat. Look at him. He's cool. He's got the head. He turns around. And now we see a reboot. That's not the right word. But the similar scene to the Hardhome fight where Jon is on the boat and sees the Night Walker, the Night King, raising his arms. Not a good sign. Surrounded by dead folks.
And really the only hope he has is in getting to the Night King and striking him down before he can finish the spell. Because if he kills the Night King, the spell is ineffective. Everything else dies.
Right.
Can he make it in time? Because Jon has been completely useless this entire episode. Jon and Sam have been totally crap.
Let's talk about that at the end. But I would disagree slightly, but it is very much worth bringing up for sure. But Jon doesn't make it. Like you were saying while we're watching, like, oh, he's got to get there in time, and he doesn't. Like he gets stopped by the fellas raise up like a bunch of drunk people at a bowling alley, and there they are, ready to bowl some more, ready to have at it. But these are like the freshly killed. So these are all the troops that have been lost fighting the whites. So Jon is trapped by this guy. He turns around and just walks away, which I thought was kind of a cool move.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just shrugging like, oh.
Yeah, well, all right. You're on your own, Jon. So back into the courtyard. Now they're really flooding in. They're just sort of pouring over the walls. The Night King has cast his death spell. Actually, no, they were rising up inside.
Yeah, so it's not just the ones in his immediate vicinity. Everything is rising up.
Yeah,
which gives rise to something else that I predicted would never happen because it'd be so cheesy and would cheapen the entire Stark family.
What,
and yet they did it.
Lyanna here? You
no, the Stark family.
Look at that. That's freaky, huh? Okay, I'll edit that. Eyeball guy. This is one of the handsome defenders, Dothraki dudes. There's Torm. I don't know what that was. Somebody waking. I think it's Dolores said, right?
Yeah, probably.
So there's the Night King surrounded by his new army. He's got a lot of confidence, probably because he's winning, and that's.
Now Jon is kind of screwed because he's completely surrounded. Now all the White Walker generals are coming in.
Yes, they are. They sure are. This is they just heard there's a party. They're there to ruin and steal all the keg beer. There they go. They got their swords and their stuff and their hair and their LARPing. Now we're back in the crypts. It's your favorite lady, Gilly.
Yeah. Useless Gilly.
She's the one who figured out the annulment was the thing.
By mistake.
Not by mistake.
Sam's interpretation of it was what mattered, not her.
If she weren't reading it, we may have never learned it, and Jon and Dany wouldn't have to murder each other at the end of the season.
They'd be better off.
Exactly. I'm happy she did it. You hate Dany. What if she'll be the reason Jon kills Dany, and then you'll have some reason to be grateful?
Jon's not going to kill Dany. Dany's going to have to sacrifice herself in some way.
Jon's going to say Dracarius while Dany is brushing Drogon's teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in the crypts, we start hearing noises, and things are getting a little freaky. Actually, no, it already happened.
So this is where the Starks start busting out of their graves.
Yes.
Which is really incredibly stupid. I hate that they did it because it's so... It basically means that you don't need to be fell by the White Walkers, by the Whites, in order to be risen. So the spell is all-encompassing. It reaches like a mile or so.
Or maybe the Starks have some sort of special connection because they go back to the children of the first men or some of the first men or whatever. Maybe there's some sort of link to that because they have magic blood because they're the first dictators to take over.
I don't know if I buy into that. But I just think they just resurrect anything.
Maybe. I don't know. Could be. I was predicting that they might be like raising graveyards and stuff as they walk around. But yeah, I had heard this theory. You and I did not think of it. I mean, not that we were the originals.
I think it was a bad decision.
The last one. It seemed pretty clear that they were going to do this, though. Anybody who predicted this, I would say, yeah, you were probably... Because they foreshadowed it so much with the previous episode about how the crypts are safe. The crypts are safe. Go down to the crypts. The little girl wants to defend the crypts. They kept hammering that point a little too much. It was a little too on the nose. And this is very... So you're pretty disappointed by the Crypts waking up.
Yeah, I think this was a very cheap way of putting a plot point in.
My issue with it is not that they woke up, it's that they got out. I think it would have been more effective had they just like been banging around inside the tombs. Because these are like big stone slabs and big concrete, and they're just like busting through. Although maybe their magic is charged up. Like maybe they have extra powers. Because they were, the one white that they brought to King's Landing, they contained it with a wooden box.
Yeah.
So how can this thing punch its way out of a stone slab? I mean, maybe it's made of some sort of material that can, degrade over time. Because, it's not all materials.
The Starks were well known for using papier-mâché tombs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I don't blame you for feeling like that's pretty cheesy. But also, I get it, too. I did want to see the little girl stab him, though. Turn into Yoda and start bouncing around the room. Didn't happen. Some cool arrow flame thing. That's
so I believe that's the Godwood, where Theon is, now they're being overrun, so Theon is basically defending Bran.
Yep.
So we're getting to the point where we need Jon to do something. We need Jon to go and kill the Night King because all of our favorite characters are being completely surrounded to the point where they don't have much time left. Something has got to give.
Yeah.
Someone has got to strike the defining blow to bring this battle to an end, or else they're all doomed.
This is what I was saying about earlier about like how they... Like all these, he was totally surrounded before, and now there's all this empty space. Did he kill everybody? Did they just some of them wander off the other direction?
Maybe he ran backwards.
Like a Motley Crue concert letting out.
Yep.
People just shamble off into the wilderness. But then suddenly his girlfriend shows up with her flamethrower,
which is surprisingly accurate.
Yeah. Although he's dodging, he's taking a little bit of a heat there. So that's a good shot. I like it. So Drogon is whooping ass. Jon is like, hell yeah, that's my girl. He's a little aroused by it. I'm attracted to powerful women, James. I like ambition, sassiness, and chicks that don't take any guff from nobody, especially people who call them chicks. They don't like that anymore. I don't think they ever did. I should stop. Okay, so this is cool. That's good. Drogon's horny. Jon is like, hell yeah, man, awesome. So now he rushes into the castle, right? She does not park her car. She's still on him. Oh, they land, though. Now they're on the ground. Drogon, though, gets overwhelmed by the army of the dead. They start crawling up like a bunch of fleas.
Exactly. He starts taking over the entire dragon.
Yep. And James and I we have personal experience with this because we had fleas a couple years ago. Yeah. It took about 2.5 months to get rid of the fleas. That was really annoying.
Yep. Yeah. It was not good times.
Yeah. Never get fleas, everybody. Okay? You hearing me out there, you chicks? Sorry, I can't. Okay, grunts. Rawr! Okay, there. But this is pretty scary. I mean, look at all of them. They were really grabbing onto him.
Yeah, it was almost like it was inhibiting his ability to fly away. And being as powerful as a dragon as he is, you would think that it would take a considerable force to prevent him from taking to the air.
Like, how many whites would you handle? I think you're like a 7 white guy.
Maybe.
You'd be running off and they'd be just dragging you on your feet, holding onto your huge toes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I could handle 8 because I do push-ups. But this thing's got at least 40. And there are, they're like, bugs crawling all over them. It's kind of gross. It kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies.
It really makes you think, are you seeing the end of Drogon? That would be horrific.
Yeah. What if he just liked one of them, though?
Because even if Drogon doesn't die from this, he's wounded, as is his brother.
Right.
So the dragons are kind of out of commission at this point.
Dragons are taking a beating. Yeah, they're beaten up here. Okay, now what do we got? Is that Jon? I think, right? Jon's just running through, though. There's all sorts of bodies and wounded, and that's Sam yelling indistinctly. He's getting a kiss. This is Joe Biden sniffing his hair. There's Jon coming at every which way. He's Grey Worm, I see, with a spear. Am I reading it right?
It's possible. It's hard to see, but it does look like him a little bit.
They're showing the heroes fighting here. Yeah,
and you see Brienne screaming. So basically what they're just trying to show is that all the heroes, all the characters you love, are only moments away from death. So if someone doesn't do something, if the Night King does not die right now, it's too late.
And Jon gets the door closed just in time, and we got hissing and snarling. Look, James, it's my Thanksgiving reunions. So... You didn't have to laugh at that. Was not. So Theon's in the woods. He's having a battle here. He and his buddies are getting beat by the White Walkers and stuff. There's the giant sword. That's the Heart's Bane.
So what basically happens is that Daenerys gets knocked off of Drogon when he gets kind of flung about.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she rolls off, and she's about to be killed when Jorah Mormont himself, the one person who has been loyal to her from the beginning, which she has not been very kind to in exchange in the long run.
He tried to get her killed. I mean, she had reasons to
He
be upset
redeemed himself fairly quickly. But he's protecting her.
Mixed feelings overall. I don't know if I'd forgive anybody who arranged my killing, no matter what they tried to do to make up for it. All right, so they're that's I don't know what I don't know. I can't tell. Screamy face monsters. Oh, it's Tyrion. So we're in the crypts now with Tyrion and Sansa. Now Sansa gets out a knife, and it seems like she's getting ready to stab herself. Is that what's going on here?
They're looking at each other as though everything's about to end.
Yeah.
As though they're saying their final goodbyes without words because they don't want to be heard.
Right. Oh, I see. They don't want to draw attention on themselves. So I actually predicted that like a hand was to bust out through the crypt, which would have been really cheesy, honestly. Or Ned Stark's head. Hey, daughter. Hello. Give me a kiss. With his no lips. Ooh, kissing a skeleton that wants to kiss you. How weird is that?
That would be being bitten.
But no tongue. So that's nice. Unless it still has like the little like strong part of the tongue. I think the tongue deserves more credit for the organ that it is.
You know, like
it does so many different jobs.
You know that brushing your teeth is the only time you really wash your skeleton?
Yeah, that's true. When you scrape the bones that are protruding from your face bones.
I heard that one on Reddit.
Yeah, good one. Yeah. Although you do wash your skeleton through cellular replication.
Yeah, but not directly.
All right. So, dragon. This is the courtyard, and all right. So Viserion.
So he has been damaged by his battle with Drogon, such that he's shooting fire out of his neck and everything right now. He can't really control it.
That was awesome. I love that detail. That the fire's coming out of the hole in his neck.
And Daenerys actually picks up a weapon and does make a kill. That's her first for her.
Yep, she goes for it. I mean, she doesn't have any other choice. You either kill or be killed, I guess. Kind of like grade school. And I'm not sure. Are we in the crypts again here? Or is that somebody? Looks like someone's being grabbed. What's going on here, James? That looks like a hand. That's a crypt hand. That might be Ned Stark. I don't know. Oh, that's a dog? I can't tell. What the fuck? Sorry, this is a terrible review, guys. You really... thanks for watching. We're back in the crypts. Viserys even has a little blood on him.
That's Varys.
Varys has a little blood on him. I'll fix that in post.
Yep.
There's the guy there. Oh, yeah, this is Jon. So a whole bunch of times, Jon is just sort of like haphazardly approach. I mean, I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Ineffective, pointless, useless.
But what's he supposed to do? I mean...
He's supposed to be up there freaking killing the Night King.
I know, but in this scene, he's trying to figure out how to do something about this dragon, but the dragon's got powerful defenses. It sprays blue fire.
Yeah.
See? Point proven. This just looks like a random screenshot from a sunny day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
it was like a view when you're like under a pool looking up at the sky.
Yeah, this is what you see when God reaches down and diddles you. So there's Theon. He's in the weirwood. He's having a final little moment here. The Night King shows up all cool,
and this
rolling
is just,
in with his posse.
Just like the moment when the Night King walks into the Weirwood encampment and kills the three-eyed raven that preceded Bran.
Yeah.
And we know that this is one of his main goals, to erase the memory of man, to take out the three-eyed raven. And there's all these theories circulating around that the three-eyed raven, Bran, is actually perhaps the Night King in the future or in the past.
Yeah.
So there's so many theories, so many unknowns, so many things that fans are just dying to know, that this scene is kind of tantalizing us with, that would hopefully come to fruition and answer.
Yeah.
And we're just waiting for that.
We're waiting for that. Three-eyed Raven's approaching Bran, we know, and there's Jorah having more of his fighting. We got some dudes here having another battle. This is Gendry? I can't tell. It's hard to see it. So anyway, some more violence and stuff. Take that, monster! That might have been Sam.
Sam is crying.
Yeah, Sam is having a tear. This would be what I would be doing. I cry like watching dogs wrestle. You know, like oh, the little one worked up the courage to climb up the stairs. Tear jerking, James. Or when babies put on glasses.
Oh, I hate babies.
Jesus Christ.
Babies are annoying. They just
I know they're annoying. I don't want one, and I would be terrified to have to hold one. And I had to. I babysat my nephews and stuff, and I had to help him with his butt once. And I was like, how do these fucking parents do this? He was impatient.
Yes.
He was in pain. He's like, do it, fucking put it on there. And I was like, I am not. But I didn't want him to get freaked out. I couldn't. I don't want to transmit shame.
Yes, the Night Walker, as you would call him, the Night King, has a very similar expression to me right now.
Yeah.
Listening to your baby butt stories.
Get on with it. But then I
Yes.
I did it to myself.
You did it, and then his eyes turned blue, and then he got icy.
Exactly. And then okay, let's keep going. So Theon decides that it's going to be his final moment. He looks at Bran. Bran says, "You're a good man."
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Yeah. And Theon then kicks the football. No, he I think a tear rolls down his cheek, and he turns and he rushes into the fight, and he charges right at the Night King.
And this is obviously the end of him.
Yeah, here we go. This is the moment. You're a good man. Thank you. You're welcome.
And this is so sad.
Yeah, he turns.
I did not want to see Theon go out this way, but just charging at the Night King and his generals behind him, there's no hope.
Yeah, it's unlikely that this would have ended the Night King if Theon took them all out. So yeah,
but he did what he said he was going to do. And
he
went out the way he said he was going to go out. So props to Theon.
He protected Bran by getting immediately killed.
Mm-hmm. He bought him time.
Yeah, he bought him time, sure. So yeah, boom. The Night King actually does some hand-to-hand combat, which is not normally his thing, but obviously he's capable. So he just grabs his weapon and stabs him. See, look, James, right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Ow, my spine. And Theon's dead. Ow, my spine even more. So yeah, there he goes. We have a sad ending to poor old Reek, dying with an erect thing poking out of his back at a certain angle. That is quite appropriate.
So effective that armor was.
Yeah, sure. But this guy's got to have good muscles because he's old. So there's some of the dragon holes. I love the dragon. I like the blue just bleeding out of the dragon. That was a great touch. Jon keeps hiding behind barriers to protect himself, which again, he's a little overwhelmed by this moment. He's rendered useless. Rendered useless.
He's pinned down. Can't go and help Theon. Can't help Bran.
Maybe he's keeping the tank busy from blowing up the nursery school. Get it? Mm-hmm. If someone has to keep the tank busy, he's a hero.
But the tank's not going to fire in a position that the tank general is currently residing in.
Yeah, so Jon should have ran over by there, and then the Viserion would have blown them all up with their own fire.
Yeah,
that would have been smart. So there's dead Theon. There we go. He's got it. Now he's Leak.
Yes,
he's got holes.
Well done.
Yeah. So I get one approval from James in episode. Thoro, or whatever this guy's name is, Jorah Mormont. Jorah.
My favorite character is falling.
Gilly could kick his ass.
Well, she could now because he's basically slashed up and full of holes and dying.
Yeah, it's easy to kick a dead butt. Poor Jorah, though, he's having his moment there. Does he die in this scene or no?
Yes, he dies.
Yeah, see, that's right. I knew that. There he is. Poor guy, old and dead. Now he's, his watch has ended.
And if you go back to that one scene right there, you'll see that he did take a very substantial stab through the armor. You can see the,
Yeah, they stabbed him right in the bead.
He is not going to make it.
Yeah, he's dead. Missed the heart, but there's other bad stuff on that side of it. You don't want holes in either. So, cool nails. Obviously, they have great nail salons up in the north, like Canada is known for. Hard to type with those big nails.
So the whole time I'm watching this one, I was like, how is Bran going to bring this to an end?
Yeah.
Because nobody else is in a position to do anything about the Night King. Everyone else is pinned down or dead. It has to come down. Jon is useless. It has to be something that Bran does.
Yeah.
Does Bran warg into someone? Does Bran suddenly warg into Hodor and have Hodor come and rip his head off?
That'd be cool.
What happens?
Zodor.
And we're just waiting.
He could run over his toes, like I said.
But it's killing me, though, because I'm watching this, and the Night King is getting closer and closer, and yet Bran is not warging at all. It's like Bran has no plan.
I expected Bran to warg into the Night King.
Well, I don't know if you can do that.
Well, he's right next to him.
I'm pretty sure their psychic powers would balance one another out.
Yeah.
But it's almost as though Bran knows something the Night King doesn't know, because the Night King has this weird look in his face when he gets here. It's like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Is something happening? Are you seeing something I'm not seeing?
Yeah, like a slight curious kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like he's not quite in full knowledge. Like, but they are both powerful wizards or whatever the hell. Here's Jon staring at Drogon shows up, right?
No, this is Jon yelling at Viserion.
Oh, that's right. Why the fuck did I say Drogon? God, I'm dumb. Yeah.
And if you get the next shot, you can see that most of his jaw is missing. Unfortunately,
here?
He didn't get it. But yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit there.
Oh,
he opens his mouth wider, and you can see the extent of the damage to his lower jaw from the dragon fight.
Right. That's awesome. That's pretty good stuff. So now we have this guy turns and looks behind him like, what's going on? Like when you can like tell like somebody's fighting down in the mall. And this dude, all of a sudden somebody rushes in.
And this was the moment, like, Arya comes flying at him out of the blue, unexpected. He grabs her by the throat, which is exactly how I was expecting him to grab the spear when she threw it at him, but that never came to fruition.
So in her left hand was the knife.
This is her classic move. She drops the knife, picks it up with her left hand.
And catches it with her right.
Oh, right or left,
Let's go. Picks it up, and now the knife is in her free arm. She makes a big stab and she guts him. She just sticks him right in the chest here. Stab, take that. And
so, yep. There goes the whole theory about the obsidian dragon glass shard in his chest, about he was immune to dragonfire, but he went out just as easily as any one of his generals did. Right. Which was kind of disappointing. And disappointing in the fact that it wasn't a showdown between Bran. Bran did nothing. Jon did nothing. Arya... I mean, it wasn't satisfying. Yes, Arya's cool. I don't want to see anything bad happen, but
she's an assassin, yeah.
It didn't really feel satisfying having Arya deal the killing blow and to have him go out that easily. Yeah. I was disappointed on 3 different levels there.
Fair enough. What wouldn't have been disappointing though? I mean, not, you know what I mean? Like
having like a long drawn-out fight between, like a big sword fight between Jon and the Night King with a Valyrian Longclaw sword going with, and then him like coming into his own, realizing that he is the prince that was promised. That maybe fire erupts in his eyes and his sword goes flaming,
blue flames.
Or I mean, it could be that. Just have something like that. Have the prophecy be completed. The 2 kings going at it. That's
he pulls out a Valyrian steel spoon.
Yeah, it's
and then gouges him and calls it long scoop.
I was hoping for the thing where Jon digs the sword into his neck with Valyrian steel and finds out, no, not even Valyrian steel can take down this guy.
Yeah.
It has to be the shard in the chest.
Right.
That would have been so much more epic.
Seemed relevant.
This was just so quick, so unexpected, such a mismatch.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was just completely unsatisfying.
Have you ever watched The Wire?
Yeah.
So... what's the guy's name? He's a good actor. The dude with the scar. Omar.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
I refused to watch the 5th season because I didn't want to know if he died or not, so thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed you said you saw it.
I watched 1 through 4, and I was so afraid that Omar was going to die because he was my favorite character that I've been avoiding spoilers for many, many years now.
Really? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I should take this out.
That's fine.
No, I don't want to spoil it for other people.
It's been out for... it's been out for so long that it's not a spoiler.
That's why I said that.
That's on me. That's not on you.
All right. Well, fair enough. I should have...
No. You had no responsibility there.
And he's like 20 years old?
Yeah, it's a very old show.
Okay.
I mean...
All right.
I assumed as much. I just never had confirmation.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you hadn't.
I assume that was the case because a character like that can't persist that long. But,
I don't. Yeah, but the way he dies. Okay, all right. I
don't know how he dies.
I won't ruin that.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's not about me. It's about go for it.
I know, but I don't want to spoil it for other people too. I am sensitive. This is like a thing.
If anyone hasn't seen it by now, it's on them.
I agree for things that are older like that, like 10 plus years or 15 plus years. And that's pretty generous, but I also don't. If I knew you hadn't seen it, I definitely would have.
It's not a big deal.
Respecting spoilers is about the closest thing I have to a religion.
No,
so I really do feel bad.
Please say what you want to say.
No, it's not. I don't want to do that to you.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine. No, it's okay. We'll move on. It's not that important. Like I say like one decent point an episode, and the rest of it's just me trying to whatever stupid, dumb instincts I have.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be an amazing.
I'm really sorry.
It's totally cool.
I'll drive you to Del Taco after we're done. All right. So James has had a beer, so I don't want him getting in trouble, getting arrested by the Del Taco police. Mm-hmm. So, okay, gasp. Okay, I'm looking at these scenes again because I had sort of said after we watched this that maybe like the shard was like glinting in the here, and like they'd get the shard that caused him to become the Night King, and that still might happen in another episode. I don't think it will, but we don't see it in these. But then all the other dudes start exploding, and it really does work. Like everybody just keels over and dies, and even the dragon here has a final moment. I'm dead. No,
Jon gets the Infinity Gauntlet.
Jon gets he gets all the different rainbows of the crystals in the glove. Mm-hmm. The dudes World War Zing up the walls fall down. They're done. And everybody else is like, whew.
So I was a little worried that like Brienne would have died, and and Jaime. I know Jaime wasn't going to die; he's got unfinished business. But we do fortunately see a scene where Brienne is standing alive.
Yeah.
And the defeat of the Night King.
Yes, Brienne is at the Night King's feet.
Well, no, the defeat of the defeat of the Night King allowed for the saving of Brienne.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So everybody. Yeah, I think that's Dany and Jorah. Oh, Jorah's still up.
Well, he's not for long.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. So Jon, there he is.
He's like, I'm useless.
Yeah. Oh, I won because I'm so handsome and stabbed. I have so many stab wounds. Yeah. So there's some of the other. That's Jaime. Is that Brienne? Maybe. I think so.
Yeah, that's definitely Brienne.
Probably Podrick. I think. So everybody dies except the actors. What is this, like a space movie?
So we lose Jorah, we lose the Night Watch guy, we lose, we're about to lose someone else, but I won't say who yet.
Are you sure Jorah's dead? Why do I feel like he did?
The fact that Daenerys crumples herself onto his chest and cries profusely as he closes his eyes typically implies death.
I gotcha. There's some corpses down here too, so not everybody survived the Stark family Robinson re-emerging from their crypts, their weak-ass stone wall crypts. Bran, completely nonplussed by all of it, just like, yeah, he's like, it's time to play Fortnite.
Yeah, he's like, I knew that would happen.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, so here he is. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, I must have tuned out. She's upset. He's dying. That sucks. It's all dead and stuff. That's too bad. Jorah's dead. So, did you think they were actually ever going to get together, like, on a physical level?
No, I didn't think so, but the very fact that he gave everything he had, including his life, to her to the very end, and she was kind of a jerk to him all along, up until the very end, was kind of disappointing.
They had their ups and downs, but there's some true passions and emotions being expressed in this scene. And that's sad. Beautiful postcard, though. Wouldn't it be nice? All right, so let's keep going. The dragon comes by because mommy's in pain, and he's looking all like when dogs are like, you're sad. So that's beautiful. I love it. The Hound is, urinating. I don't know, whatever. So now we're finally at the final sequence here. Melisandre?
Yeah, she looks back at Davos, and she's told Davos, there's no need to strike me down, Sir Davos, but I'll be dead come dawn.
Yeah.
She realizes, per the Lord of Light, she says earlier, the Lord of Light said that Beric didn't need to come back again because he served his purpose.
Yeah.
She now knows that her purpose has been fulfilled. The Night King is dead. The battle is over, so the fact that she said she'll die before dawn needs to happen, and she makes sure it happens.
It's twilight of the morning is approaching. The crepuscular hue of the early hours is rising. It's not yet dawn. We're watching this going, become the old lady, turn into the old lady. I really wanted to see the old lady, and of course, because I'm a wizard of Nostradamus, I look. She pulls off the necklace, and now we're all expecting this. This is it. Here we go. The jeweled necklace. What if it's one of those like sugar? You could just like suck on it like those rings.
No, ring pop.
Ring pop. Thank you. And Davos is watching, going, oh. Was it my onion breath? Sorry, it's such a stupid joke. She walks off into the winter frozen land, and I noticed that this is a very... Oh, there she goes. She turns into the old lady kind of quickly. She starts to sort of stumble a bit. She's losing her power, and then she kind of just turns into bones, though, doesn't she?
Yeah, she basically... Yeah. But the whole thing is that before it was implied that she took it off to go to bed every night, but this time she took it off and she, like, mega-aged.
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering if, like, the one where she went to bed was because she was nearing the end of this process.
I think probably what it was is that when she went to bed, she kept it on her bedside, so she was nearby to it, so it kept her somewhat, resuscitated.
Yeah.
But it showed the light go off on the amulet, because she kept walking away from it, so I'm guessing that's the difference.
Yeah. This is a great gift, huh, James?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what I think was, to me, stood out about this is that her whole life was, or at least what we've seen as a character was, fire and heat and warmth and red and sort of sexiness too. She's kind of hot, although
flame is extinguished.
But now here she is dying in a frigid, cold, snowy, icy. There's not a bit of heat or light or fire around her except for her own extinguishing flame, and she turns into a skeleton and rolls over and falls down and dies like a tired cow. And there she goes off to there's no heaven or hell. It's just over now. So that's it. That's the end of the episode. She gets the final moment, which was kind of a shocker too. Melisandre's story is now to an end, and I think we can safely say she won't be back unless another Night King comes by and turns her into his girlfriend.
Episode we lost Lyanna Mormont.
Yeah.
We lost
Dolorous Ed.
We lost Theon Greyjoy.
Jorah
Mormont. And the Night King.
The Night King and Melisandre. And I guess that's it. Yep. And about 4,000
no-name actors.
Red shirts.
Red shirts, yes. Star Trek reference.
Yeah. So 4,000 wolf.
Grey Worm's not dead. That was a shocker. Everyone was kind of predicting that he was a shoo-in for death.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, man, I don't think I'm going to win my Deadpool at work. Dude. So that's the end. We got a big battle. Overall, though, your impression's slightly disappointing?
I was slightly disappointed. It was not as epic an episode for me as Hardhome was, or as the Battle of Winterfell against the Boltons was. it just felt so, just the very fact of how the Night King met his end, no questions were answered, no theories were serviced, but, you know, it was just an abrupt ending that did not happen the way the story set it up that it should happen.
Right.
You know?
I hear you. Yeah. I don't...
It's like if you're watching, not to give anything away from Avengers Endgame, but it's like, oh, there's Thanos. Oh, shoot, he just got hit by a train.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well,
like,
I guess we win,
was
but...
this Final Destination?
Yeah.
Thanos edition?
Yes, but it was something like that. It just doesn't... It doesn't have that emotional impact. It doesn't have that symmetry that, you know, the Night King versus someone else. Arya and the Night King have no history. They have no similarities. It's... And then the fact that the Night King is dead is like, we'll never find out who he was. Was he a Stark? What was his backstory? You know...
Do you think they'll scoop up his ice cubes and, like, defrost them into cold beverages?
Yeah, maybe.
But a lot of minerals.
There's just a lot of years and years and years worth of fan theories that deserve to be, you know, at least proven or disproven. And now it just ends like this?
I would give up hope completely. This is a magic world. They might do... I mean, they might take his ice shards something might occur. There might be more to it. I don't think there are.
It's all about the Seven Kingdoms now and Cersei and the power struggle.
The whole story is going to shift now with Cersei and all that. Now,
an explanation on what the Targaryen sigil that the Night King had with the circle. And you know, when the Night King was born, you get this big born in terms of like his chest being penetrated by that thing. Yeah. But you have this big overhead shot, and the rocks were on the same pattern as the symbol that he puts in the wall. But what was his intentions? What did he want? What was... There's so many unanswered questions with him.
Wasn't he created as a weapon that
by the children of the forest?
Became out of control,
to fight against man.
Yeah. You know, maybe that's just an allegory for, you know, technology run amok that we just let loose and then didn't properly control, and it turned into that. I don't know. I think maybe one positive spin on it, and this is just a take, is I do think that George R.R. Martin has written this series of books and stories to be about female empowerment in a way, because they do talk about all the barriers that Cersei breaks as the first queen ruler, and Dany's breaking as one of the first rulers to try to take over all seven, and her strength she's the first Dothraki leader who kind of, you know, she's at first just a widower, but she sort of kills them all and then takes on the Dothraki.
Evil and unlikable.
I know. That's part of being a ruler. All rulers are evil. We need 2,000 years of women ruining the planet. But what I mean is, that would fit, if that's the case. I'm not even necessarily saying I completely think it is, but I do kind of see those themes, and if I don't think anybody who picks up on that theme is incorrect per se. You could interpret it differently, I suppose, and who cares if it's right or wrong? Although I think it's good. I think female empowerment's fine. I'm happy with it. I actually would like to see more, you know? But that would at least fit with Arya being the one to take him out. Not saying that should make everything feel better. In fact, people probably going, "Whoa, what's he saying about women? He likes women? What a jerk!" But that's something. I don't know if that's what it is, but it fits it sort of. Not that that's a satisfying or even comprehensive explanation that would satisfy all the theories and stuff. Because I agree with you. What is the Night King's motivation? What's up with all that? Why is he living in Superman's fortress? Yeah, why is he? Who does the HR for him?
I mean, if you're watching The Lion King and it's, you know, Scar versus Simba at the very end, and all of a sudden Simba's about ready to make his move, and then Timon and Pumbaa come charging in and knocks Scar off a cliff, and they start dancing and singing Hakuna Matata. That's not satisfying. That's not who it's supposed to be.
How does it? I don't remember. I don't know.
I forget how it ends too, but you know.
I don't know.
It's just not.
Yeah, I get you. I agree. It's sort of weirdly disappointing, and Jon did seem to be sort of sidelined. Although,
what is his purpose then?
Were he not fighting the dragons? They kept Ice Dragon busy. He and Dany did, so he was an active participant in protecting Winterfell.
All along, his entire purpose was built up to be the one to face the Night King. He was brought back from the dead by the Lord of the Light. He was the prince that was promised. He was Aegon Targaryen. He was of House Fire, fire versus ice. He had Longclaw, the Valyrian steel sword. Everything paved the way for the showdown between the two of them, and we got robbed by Arya Stark.
This is called misdirection. You don't like Dany, right? You're sensing...
Well, I don't think anyone at this point should like Dany.
Hang on.
She sucks.
You're
She's like, she can go straight to hell with Gilly.
oh my God. You're sensing Dany, and you're not alone in this. A lot of other people,
She's got the Mad King boiling up in her.
Yeah, she's got that Targaryen power craziness starting to happen a little bit. I'm not quite convinced that's what's going to happen. It might be mixed. But your assessment of that is not, it's founded in some honest observation of what you've seen. What if all those destiny things you've just read from the Sacred Scroll are actually true still? Because she's the true evil that Jon is intended to fight.
But she's Targaryen. She's fire. It's not a battle of fire and fire.
That's how you fight
the
fire,
fact that he has
Haven't
Stark
you ever
blood,
read a
though,
fire
means that he
book?
could be ice, battle of fire and ice in that sense, then maybe.
Yeah. Well, she's icy. She's got those caterpillars on her forehead. You know what I'm saying? I hear you. It's not fire and ice anymore, but there's still ice to deal with now that they've defeated the ice. It's still winter. They got to change their words to winter is here. And then after winter's over, they just call them winter was here.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, Jon and Dany are the natural antagonists now because they both have a claim. Not that Jon wants that, and he just told her like the night before. So they're going to have to reconcile that and maybe put it in the, sign a prenup or something. That's all I'm saying. Maybe there's still hope. Maybe I have some faith in these filmmakers. I think they've done eight years of excellent, amazing stuff, and I expect there to be further elucidation of the questions that you seek.
But just of all the people, Iron Guts Arya again.
Right. Yeah. She saved her brother, though, man. She showed up. They couldn't save Rickon. Or Dickon. Dickon got burned. Dickon and Rickon. Think they're in heaven, having a laugh about their names?
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other takes? Any other observations, predictions? Cersei,
no, they just need to rename this to Game of Arya.
How soon will Cersei show up, or will they go after Cersei? I mean, they're pretty wounded. They're going to be licking their wounds for a little while, and I think Cersei will take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to come and steamroll them for the next episode or 2 or 3, and we'll see what happens.
There'll be some. I think Bronn's going to play a pivotal role.
Yeah, he's going to come back, and maybe there's going to be a shot where... now, how cool would it be if Bronn's like lining up the ballista to take out Daenerys and the dragon? He's like, you know what? I want to be good. Then he turns around and just like pins Cersei to the wall with it.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that would be pretty great. As I have said though, I do think Jaime
has to kill her.
Jaime has to kill Cersei, but I think that a great way for Cersei to die is giving birth to a dwarf.
Yeah, that was my theory 3 episodes ago.
I thought you said the first half and then I filled it in.
No, I'm pretty sure I said that. That the biggest insult would be for her to give birth to a dwarf.
I thought you said giving birth, but then I said to a dwarf.
No.
Maybe I stole it from you.
I think you may have.
Yeah. But we do have an audio record, so anybody listening to episode 1 can confirm.
Absolutely. So I remember telling people at work that before we recorded the episode, like that would be the funniest way for her to die.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just use the phrase "my theory" because I adhere to the theory that you presented so ably with your nimble brain.
It's not going to happen, though.
It might.
No, she's going to die long before she has a chance to give birth.
Nope. She's going to take speed-up pills, make that baby grow quicker because it's got 7 more months or something. All right. Well, yeah, you're right. That's right. That doesn't work that way. Fuck. God damn it. Well, it wasn't my theory anyway. It's your stupid fucking theory. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate your attention. Thanks for the comments. I'm going to engage the comments a little more this season or this episode because I didn't have any time the last week. I've been working crazy hours doing this construction thing, building a tortoise enclosure. What the? Who figured that's something that would take 5 days? Well,
yeah. Did you ever hear that they were born with enclosures on their back?
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we have a little thing called raccoons.
All you gotta do is put a little post in the ground, tie a little rope to it, and then tie a little rope. Yeah.
Oh, you mean chain them down?
Yeah, and then you put hot sauce all over the turtle, so the raccoons will take one bite and be like, "Ooh, hot."
I feel like raccoons would like hot sauce. They seem like they're pretty sort of scrappy. All right. That's it. We're good. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the comments and everything else. Don't forget to like and bend the knee. Help our channel grow. That's fine. I don't care. We're so sporadic. Whatever. Who knows? So the worst YouTube strategy in the history of this channel. Thanks, James. Want to go to Del Taco?
It's not 10 o'clock, is it?
It's getting there. Can we pay with Obsidian?
Maybe.
Yes, we can. All right. Good night, everybody.